vibrant, you know. He was a good person, you know. Every time you meet with him on the corridors, he wouldn't just pass you. He had to say hello to you. So we are mourning as a corporation, and to his family members and to all his listeners, we want to extend our condolences, and may his soul rest in peace.
Mike.
Yeah, you know, life is short, yes, and as a corporation we are mourning that loss, but then again, it's God who knows best. And to the family and his fans, poleni sana, and may God rest his soul in peace.
Absolutely. Marie?
Yeah, it was really sad news to hear the passing of Amimo. We go a long way with Amimo also, just like the rest of us here in the corporation. You know, attended very many trainings earlier on when we joined KBC, so it's sad, but I guess it's the way of life. There's really nothing much. I think if human beings could find, if I may call it a cure for death, then I don't think anybody would die, but it is the way of everybody. Sad as it is, we have to accept it and you know, move on. But definitely to the family, we wish them, you know, strength and comfort during this very difficult time. And not just the family, but also the friends who worked with him very closely. I think I last saw him last week at some point. And yeah, it's sad. Whenever I come to the office in the morning, the first car I see parked at the gate, because he used to present the morning show. That is Amimo. So we'll definitely miss him. Back to you, Victor.
All right. So I think we just leave it to the family. We'll get more communication from the family before we continue with more from there. But generally, we wish the family God's grace. All right. So that's where we start the show. Not on a good note, though, but we have to keep you informed. A lot is happening, starting with me on the political scene. We'll be talking about the political arena. We are coming to the close of the year, and a lot of conversation is happening whether Kalonzo should join ODM or ODM should join Kalonzo, and what is happening in the political scene. I love the sound of that. Let's talk about that at exactly 7. I'll be joined by Dr. Peter Mbai, who is the Secretary and Planning and Economic Affairs, DCP Party. Oscar Mondi, who is a political and governance expert. He's also a university don. I'll also be joined by Honorable Peter Rero, MP, Kibra constituency, and finally Michael Mulwa, who is a political analyst. He just ditched his party, KANU, and joined Wiper just the other day. So let's talk about that at exactly 7. Vivian.
And today on Family Check, as it is a Monday, you know, we always have conversations around the family. And today's conversation will be one interesting one, because we'll be talking about AI therapists. I am sure that if I take either of your phones here, maybe 2 out of the 4 of us has an AI therapist. You always speak to ChatGPT or whichever open AI that you are communicating with. You know, whenever anything is happening in your life, you just key in those words. You know, this and this is happening. Maybe how should I go about it? Yes, that is our conversation today. And our main, the main question I will be asking is whether AI therapy is replacing traditional therapy. So is AI therapy replacing traditional therapy? And to be specific, are we replacing traditional therapists, or the therapists that we are used to, where you go, sit down, speak to this person, and they get to hear you out? Yeah, let's talk about that at 9 a.m. And I will be joined by a trainer, mentor, and also the CEO, Pro Mentors Africa. His name is Mike. We'll also be having a counseling psychologist with us and a mental health advocate, that is Anthony Njenga. So how about I see you at 9 for that conversation, and you are open to also give us your views on the same. Mike? Good
morning, Vivian. And also at around 8 a.m. we talk about matters, the fight against corruption, given that the 9th of December, which is tomorrow, is a commemoration of the International Anti-Corruption Day 2025, and this focus here will be more on how the youth can be brought on board to help in the fight against corruption. That fight has been in the country for a very long time, and tomorrow will be that commemoration. But today we are going to see how the youth can be incorporated in that fight. I'll be speaking to Emily Moria, PhD, who is the Deputy Director, Education and Public Awareness and Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. That is a conversation that will be coming to you at exactly 8. Equally important is the quote for today. Let me give you a quote, and it says, "The one thing that you have that nobody else has is you. Your voice, your mind, your story, your vision. So write and draw and build and play and dance and live only as you can." That is a quote by Neil Gaiman. You know, in other words, your uniqueness is your greatest asset. And no one else sees the world the way you see the world. So take advantage of your uniqueness and move forward. Good morning, Marie.
Good morning to you, Mike, and definitely to all of you joining us from across the country and beyond. My name is Mariambo. And just to add to what you said, Mike, it's just like a quote I came across. I can't remember the author of the quote,
yes,
but they said that when you're writing your story, don't give somebody else the pen.
Come again?
When you're writing your story,
yes,
don't give somebody else the pen.
Yeah.
You take the pen yourself and write your story. So
yes,
more or less like what you're saying. But a very good morning from wherever you are joining us. And it's time for news, starting on a somber note where 7 people have died in a horrific road accident along the Mombasa-Nairobi highway near Miasenyi in Voi sub-county, Taita Taveta County. 11 others were rushed to hospital with serious injuries.
The scene at Miasenyi along the Mombasa-Nairobi highway in Voi sub-county, Taita Taveta County, was one of the chaos and devastation as mangled vehicles lay strewn across the tarmac, their metal frames twisted and shattered. Debris was scattered for meters along the highway, evidence of the sheer force of the collision between a lorry and PSV matatu headed in opposite directions. Witnesses huddled by the roadside while police officers cordoned off the area, directing traffic around the accident.
Msimu kama huu, watu wengi sana wanachukua nafasi ya kusafiri, na watu wote wanaoelekea Mombasa kwa sherehe wanapita katika mji wa Voi.
7 victims died on the spot, while the injured were taken to the Moi Referral Hospital in Voi and other health facilities in the area.
We received 11 casualties in our hospital. We had 7 fatalities. 4 of them were male and 3 were female, unidentified right now. They are in the morgue. In the ward, in the casualty, we have 7 referrals to Mombasa. We are referring them. Patients are stable currently. Some patients had multiple fractures. We stabilized the fractures and referred them to Mombasa respectively.
Sikujua ni dereva alikuwa anaopateka. I don't know what happened. But mimi nilijipata, siwezi kuongea, siwezi kuamka, siwezi songa ndani ya gari. Mungu akanisaidia. Nikajisukuma mpaka nikatoka. Alafu wasamaria wema wakanisaidia singeweza kutembea.
Voi OCPD Frederick Kinaibei has urged motorists to exercise caution and strictly observe traffic rules.
Watu ambao wanasafiri kupitia highway yetu, kupitia reli yetu, wawe makini sana. Hasa watu ambao wanaendesha magari, wanaendesha pikipiki. Hii ni barabara ambayo ni single, si dual. Kwa hivyo kuna kupitana kwa magari. Naomba madereva wakuwe waangalifu. Maafisa wetu wa trafiki watakuwa barabara kushika doria kila wakati.
Authorities say investigations into the cause of the accidents are underway.
Indeed, sad. And we still on the road carnage where emotions ran high at Sango, Matete, Kakamega County during the burial of 7 members of one family who perished in a road accident at Kijabe in Kiambu County. The grieving family, led by Patrick Haron Sivona, expressed the deep pain of losing so many loved ones at once. According to family spokesperson Zablon Wambani, one body is still being held at the mortuary due to a mix-up in identification, while another of a grandchild grandchild of Mzee Sivona, was buried on Friday. This somber ceremony was attended by several government and political leaders, including Cooperative Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya, Kakamega County Woman Representative in the National Assembly, Elsie Mohanda, and Area Member of Parliament, Nabi Nabwera.
Kupoteza mjukuu, nimeona uchungu, kwa maana hata tulimuita jina ya Guku, tukamuita Kawaya, Violin Kawaya.
Sisi wote ni wapitaji, hakuna mwenye ataishi permanent kwa hii dunia, na siku ya watoto wetu ilikuwa imefika, tuwawachie waende walale salama.
Mimi kwa wale iko msichana wangu na mjukuu wangu. Niliposikia hiyo habari nilisituka
nikileta rambirambi. Mzee Chibona na familia mko hapa, yote tunawachia Mungu.
Matanga hii ni huzuni kubwa katika hii community na katika kwa watu wa Kakamega. Hao watu wote kukufa safari moja.
Now to the political scene, where the political landscape remained active on Sunday as a section of the political class outlined its agenda, while at the same time addressing issues of concern to the public. The united opposition has downplayed claims of division as government-aligned politicians dismiss claims by the opposition that the National Dialogue Committee report, popularly known as NADCO report, is not being implemented.
Secretary Opiyo Wandayi has faulted the opposition for allegedly spreading falsehood over the implementation of the National Dialogue Committee NADCO report. Wandayi says NADCO report's implementation process is ongoing, with the reconstitution of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission being a testament.
Jane Wamalwa cannot have the moral authority to dictate how the NADCO report should be implemented, because on the last day when we were signing off the NADCO report, Wamalwa took off and ran away. Some of our sons who have been killed in the past were killed when Kalonzo Musyoka was in government, and he never questioned those killings. I think the only honorable thing is to allow that committee to complete its work despite of the challenges it's facing from court. Tukitaka wananchi watupigie kura, tuwe watu wa ukweli.
These as leaders allied to the united opposition congregated in Kasarani, Nairobi for a Sunday service where they reiterated their resolve to clinch power in the 2027 general election.
They think that they can put a wedge between me and Kalonzo Musyoka. Let me tell the people of Kenya, the relationship between me and Kalonzo is not about leadership. It is not about politics. It's not about the presidency. It is family. What your familia wanaweza wachana?
About we are not the type of people to just wake up and dismiss and throw people out and call them names. And yesterday, even the Odin fraternity said, before our brother Raila Odinga rested, he used to tell them, don't attack Kalonzo, don't attack Kalonzo, because he knew where we had come from. So that is a spirit, and my brother is calling me to hold this country together with him.
The leaders called upon the Orange Democratic Movement to join them, emphasizing that unity was not just symbolic, but a strategy to win.
And we can see efforts to finish ODM. And it's not good for our democracy. So we want to ask ODM members to be careful. Wasitawanywe.
The opposition also took a swipe at the government, faulting it for the ongoing sale of public companies. According to the opposition, these decisions risk undermining national assets and betraying public interests.
We must liberate this country. Senor. Otherwise, the way things are going, all national institutions are being sold. Everything has gone haywire. Theft, left, right, and center. And that is why I want to assure the people of Kenya that we in the United Opposition are clear in our mind that we shall stay as one. At the right time, we'll give you one candidate to face William Ruto.
Meanwhile, Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro has called for transparency in the sale of Safaricom shares. Nyoro, who spoke in Murang'a County after attending a church service, warned that the country risks incurring heavy losses from the transaction.
Let us not rush the sale of 15% stake in Safaricom. Let us give people a chance to compete. Let us open a competition of bids so that we can have many companies bidding to buy that stake of Safaricom, so that Kenyans can get full value for the stake we have in Safaricom.
In the Rift Valley region, leaders allied to President William Ruto have challenged the Wiper Patriotic Front leader Kalonzo Musyoka to present a formal statement to the Directorate of Criminal Investigations DCI regarding his claims of the death of Chief Defence Forces Francis Ogola. At the same time, the leaders are warning that political rifts in the region could jeopardize President Ruto's 2027 re-election bid.
Kuna watu ambao wanataka tu kuchochea kila mahali, kila mtu anaangalia mambo ya 2032, mambo ya nini, hadi 27 kuna watu wanatakiwa waende nyumbani na wengine wabaki. Nani alisema hivyo?
Now, the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation and the media fraternity is mourning the untimely death of Festus Amimo, who until his death was the head of Mayenga FM at KBC. Festus is reported to have collapsed and died early on Sunday at a Nairobi hotel, and his body taken to Nairobi Funeral Home before it was transferred to a private funeral home. Condolence messages have been pouring in as family and friends try to come to terms with his sudden death. Police have since launched investigations to ascertain the cause of his death.
Shock and grief engulfed the family, friends and colleagues of the late Festus Amimo as they try to come to terms with his sudden death.
He was in high spirits, he was fine, but then he collapsed and died. So we will seek to know exactly what happened to his body that caused the death.
Family, friends and colleagues gathered at his home in Sosian Estate amid queries following his news he had collapsed and died. Central Sub-County Police Commander Philemon Nyakombo says they received the report that he had collapsed and died at a city hotel, and investigations are underway.
It is still early stages. We have a lot to cover to identify someone as a suspect. We cannot say there is a suspect, but yes, there is a person assisting us with the investigation.
Announcing his death, KBC Managing Director Agnes Kaleche described Amimo as a highly respected member of the KBC fraternity, known for his exceptional professionalism, steadfast commitment, and deep passion for his work. Leaders across the divide, led by Interior Principal Secretary Raymond Amolo, described him as a warm soul whose steady presence and true friendship, kindness, and humility touch everyone around him. Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of Delivery and Government Efficiency, Eliud Owalo, in his condolence message, eulogized the late Amimo as a person who served with dedication and passion.
Today we are mourning Festus Amimo of Mayenga Station, and he died suddenly. This is why, in my thinking, I believe as a country we can do better.
Until his death, Amimo was the head of Mayenga FM, a Luo transmitting radio station where he hosted the breakfast show. He was also the chair of the Luo Journalist Association. His colleagues described him as a hard-working, dedicated breakfast presenter and a people person.
Let me tell you, we are KBC is poorer without Amimo. Mayenga is poorer without Amimo. Radio is poorer without Amimo.
Personally, I went to college together with him, then worked with him from KBC Kisumu, and then up to Nairobi. He was more than a brother to me. I'm very much affected, and I was one of the people who wrote that I can't believe it.
Amimo is our icon, more so in Mayenga FM. He has brought Mayenga to another level in the corporation. So as a family, as a friend, I'm saying sorry a lot to KBC family for losing such kind of an icon.
Siku zote katika maisha nilikuwa namuita generali. Generali kwa sababu siku zote Amimo ni mtu ambaye ukiwa na jambo analisuluhisha mkiwa naye pamoja na hawezi kukufurahia sana likienda katika kiwango kingine. Matatizo yakiwemo mnayamalizia pale pale. Alafu ni mtetezi, namuita mtetezi kwa sababu gani? Masuala mengi yakiwepo huwa tunayajadili na tunahakikisha kwamba kila mwananchi anapata haki yake ya maisha.
He was one of the people I was relying on to just ensure that there is synergy within radio department.
The late Amimo is survived by his spouse and 3 children.
Indeed, we'll miss him. Let's take a break. We'll be back.
Bagi ni ya nini? Unajua mati madaraka ti lazima nikuwe nyumbani.
Hii si madaraka, ni Jamhuri Day.
You want intestine oro.
Ni nani waita sahi?
Unajua Kifaransa?
Najua kila kitu, hata akitaka kuongea mbolingo na chao.
Ini chakula ina gani? Hata mtu akinipata mtu ambaye anahesimika kama mimi, anakula chakula kwa juala. Watu ungespected kama wewe wakulangi chakula ya mlango ya nyuma. Mimi nimekuja hapa kwa hoteli kula chakula. Uko na toraji? Angalia hizi ndevu zangu. Kila mtu akipata nywele nyeupe ni alikuwa maumau.
Ipo siku hata sisi yupasua sajaba is bad, very bad.
But what does it have to do with me?
Oh, la 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 la.
I have been rude to Marcelo and I don't think he'll forgive me.
I really hate that woman, Rafaela. But I found out that I couldn't do anything because she is the wife of a man who has placed all of his trust in me.
For me, you're the most handsome man here in Puebla. What do you want from me? It's about time that you and I clear things up.
But I was inside the house when your mother fell from the 2nd floor.
I know someone named Clara. Clara what? She used to work here while my mother was still alive.
Welcome back. Let's look at sports where Julius Masaba scored a 26-minute lone goal to hand AFC Leopards a win in the first Mashemeji Derby of the 2025-2026 FKF Premier League season. I beg your pardon. The 2 matches also played on Sunday ended in a 1-0 scorelines. APS Bomet and KCB earning hard-fought 1-0 wins over Bandari and Sofapaka, respectively.
AFC Leopards and Gor Mahia met at the Nyayo National Stadium on Sunday afternoon in the first of 2 FKF Premier League Mashemeji derbies, and it was the Leopards who got the better of their opponents in the first leg.
Asali na maziwa
milele. Wanatangulia Wanaingwe.
Julius Masaba struck midway through the first half, and it proved to be the only goal as Leopards walked away with maximum points. It was only the fourth win for Leopards in the Premier League this season, but moved them 3 points within touching distance of leaders and defending champions Kenya Police. For Kogalo, it was a painful loss, a third of the season, as it denied the former champions a chance to move back to the summit of the table in their pursuit to reclaim the title at the end of the season. Kogalo now remain 1 point behind Kenya Police, who lead with 20 points, while AFC Leopards have moved up to 6th on the table with 17 points.
Nikaangalia game leo nitaka wazoefu. Watu wanasikia nilifika kina Masaba, kina Kinyash, Tai, wote ilikuwa tu uzoefu ya game. Na nikasema juu niko na historia sijafungwa na Gor Mahia, itabidi pia tena nitafuta wachezaji wanaweza nisaidia pia nisifungwe. Sasa unaona, na nilikuwa nimemwambia mimi sijafungwa, nimedraw zote. Sasa kinatafuta ni ushindi.
The opponent were aggressive than us. They won majority of the second balls. They were determined. There was, you can see, an urgency of the way they played, and this is what we told our guys. Games like that come with a lot of commitment, and we were not too committed enough, to play. We didn't fight enough to win this game.
The other two matches also played on Sunday ended in 1-0 wins. APS Bomet and a hard-fought 1-0 win over Bandari FC, while KCB also replicated that scoreline against a resolute Sofapaka FC.
We move on where Kenya's Jocelyn Chepkosgei set a world lead of 2 hours, 14 minutes and 00 seconds to win the women's race during the Valencia Marathon held in Spain. Another Kenyan, John Korir, also won the men's race. Jocelyn, aged 31, improved the course by almost a minute and finished 43 seconds ahead of her compatriot Paris Jepchirchir, who finished seconds, that is 2 hours, 14 minutes and 43 seconds. Chloe Heribat of Belgium was placed third in the men's race. Kenya's John Korir claimed a dominant win in 2 hours, 2 minutes and 24 seconds, improving his PB by 20 seconds. Germany's world silver medalist Amanal Petros finished second in 2 hours, 4 seconds and 3, 2 hours, that is 4 minutes and 3 seconds, while Awet Kibrab of Norway took a surprise third place in a national record of 2 hours, 4 minutes and 24 seconds.
Cheer and Jocelyn Chepkosgei are the leading pair that have now taken significant in 67.18, so those are the comparisons that we're getting, and they're now almost 45 seconds up on Berisso's pace from 3 years ago. So it's going to be very, very interesting. They're going to go through, I would guess they're going to go through halfway in around 60.
Well, that's where we close the morning news this morning on Good Morning Kenya. Thank you as always for your time and your company. My name is Marian. Coming up right after this is Victor Law, and his guests are already in studio. Goodbye for now.
In today's world, securing a job after university is increasingly difficult. Many graduates like Faith face harsh job rejections and a tough economy. Despite her hopes for a stable job post-graduation, Faith struggled to find work, leading to her to consider starting a business instead.
You're looking for jobs, there are no jobs, you're sending applications, you can't get even the responses. And so that led me to find a way of surviving, and that's when I ventured into selling laptops.
During this time, Faith connected with her friend Caleb, who ran a small computer sales and repair business. Recognizing a partnership opportunity, Faith brought fresh ideas while Caleb contributed his experience. Together, they embarked on an entrepreneurial journey.
Fresh ideas and also the zeal from someone new.
Setting up the business proved challenging. They needed to find a prime location, reliable suppliers, and raise funds for rent and stock.
The business is capital intensive, and that meant that I have to look for capital. And also starting out, especially here in Nairobi, it's very expensive because you'll need to have connections on where to get stock, on where to get the capital, on where to start from. And so even getting people to work with you through the journey was a bit challenging, but through and through we have been able to climb the ladder.
They chose to sell computers due to their growing reliance on technology, which they believed had significant market potential.
Right now, the world is all about technology. So you need to have a computer to do everything. Right now, you need to have a computer and all the electronics. You can't stay without a gadget. So that is something that is needed. It's almost a basic need nowadays.
Trust was crucial to their success. As friends, they divided responsibilities based on their strengths and ensured the shop remained open even when one was absent. They tackled problems together, leading to innovative solutions for smooth operations.
We act like a pilot and a co-pilot. So whenever I'm not there, the co-pilot is able to do everything that I can do. So we have equal roles, and everybody knows what they are good at, and they have perfected the places where they're good at, and so we're able to complement each other in that way.
Understanding each other. Yes. So of course I have some ideas, my partner has other ideas, but we have to understand one another so that everything can run smoothly.
As competition increased, they needed to differentiate themselves. They expanded services by offering repairs, a Lipa Pole Pole payment plan, and door-to-door deliveries. These additions attracted more customers and helped build a trusted brand.
We don't only sell computers, we also do repairs. We also offer payment plans. So like when you come to purchase a laptop from us, we take you through the different types that we have. After that, we're able to give you options. You choose the option that you like the most, and then we take you through the Lipa Pole Pole plan. We have Lipa Pole Pole plans for laptops, and we also have repair services, whereby we do not only sell laptops, but we also repair. If you have a laptop that is that has an issue, we can also repair that for you. And we have services like delivery services.
Starting the business transformed Faith's life. Overcoming job rejection, she found joy in independence and success, earning more than she expected and feeling grateful for taking the risk.
And so one of the things that I know I might not do as a person is go back to be a career person, because for sure if I'm going to be a career person, that career might not pay me the much that I need to survive, especially in Nairobi and in the current economic status that we are in. Yeah.
Faith's online skills helped expand their customer base through social media advertising, customer reviews, and online orders with delivery options.
And you see, for a fresh graduate, she's well conversant with online marketing. So she has taught me a lot.
Now successful entrepreneurs, Faith and Caleb advise youths not to wait for employment, but to seek alternative paths. They encourage aspiring entrepreneurs to identify market trends rather than blindly starting any business, as maintaining one can be challenging.
That you feel like giving up, the days that you feel like you don't know, you don't have a direction, but at the end of the day, just sit down and ask yourself, then what? If I sit here and wait, who is coming to save me? Definitely with our current state of the economic status that we are in right now, there's no one who is coming to save you. So the only thing you need to do is just start. Whatever it is that you're thinking about, just start and be disciplined and be consistent as much as possible.
You can check whatever is moving online, because you see, you can start a business, but then you will not find clients because whatever you're selling is not needed at the moment. So you need to have something that if you buy to sell, you'll find clients instantly.
All right, welcome back. Now time for us to get into politics. Good morning, welcome back. My name is Victor Lo. The date is 8th of December 2025. We are slowly coming to the end of the year, and let's talk about this. But before that, let me welcome my guest, Dr. Peter Mbai. He is a gentleman who is not new to Jerusalem. Dr. Good morning.
Well, good morning to you, Victor.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You look relaxed.
Well, here I am.
You look relaxed.
Well,
I don't know why I didn't see you in the last 1 month.
No, well.
Hauko napatikana, my brother.
Oh, you know where we were, you know?
I don't know.
I was in Bele.
Yes.
We were part of the troops on the ground. Yeah, and we did what we did.
You did well.
And we experienced what we experienced. Yes.
How was it now that DCP is just 6 months old and you threw yourself into the deep waters and you tested the ground?
Yeah, to start with, we fielded 5 candidates, right? And we got 3. That is a very good plus by any chance. That's about 75% win. Yeah, we got MCA Kariobangi, we got MCA Narok Town, we got MCA Kakamega. First of all the people who have been saying that DCP is a village party, it's there to be seen. This is not about talking now. I mean, nobody has spoken about that issue ever since then. Because we were able to field candidates. We came as a strong second in Porco, Kajiado County. We came a strong second in the Magarini, that is in Coast. I mean, we did what we could. And in Bere, of course, we supported the DP party. Yeah. We supported DAPK in Maraba, where we had a very strong candidate again, whom we withdrew. So that's what we are saying. It's no longer about, we are talking about a national party. Yes. Of course, Bere had his own changes and Maraba. That was, there's something we called leaguing, there's something we called steering, but that was robbery with violence. I mean, that's what happened.
What did you say?
Robbery with violence. We thought we went...
There's rigging, there's stealing, and...
Yes, and there is robbery with violence. Where you literally now, you're not even careful. You remember the rich president said, even in rigging, you need intelligence. You remember that, eh? So here is not where you try to play around with the voters, entice them with something. Yeah. This is open robbery with violence. How? When you walk into a police station and literally take off with a whole ballot box, which is not counted. What do you call that? By a senior cabinet secretary. What do you call that? That's not legal. That is robbery in broad daylight. Captured on, you don't even feel that people are capturing you on video. That's it. So that's what the people are going to court with. And we expect the court to pronounce itself on this issue. Yeah. That's what happened.
A judge has been appointed to hear that matter.
Yes, sir.
All right. Peter Mbai, Dr. is Secretary, Planning and Economic Affairs boss at DCP Party. Next to him is Oscar Mondi, who is a political and governance expert. He's also University Don. Oscar, good morning.
Good morning, Victor.
Yes.
And I'm grateful to be with you here to
discuss issues like whatever Peter Mbai is putting across is frustration. I'm sorry, bro. Whatever happened, that is what happens in Jerusalem. Probably you've never known. This is what happens. This is normal.
It's like you're telling Peter to keep a boy.
No. I mean, he's never. Probably Peter Mbai, in his political career, he's never gone through this before. So he's new to this. So what happens is that the ideal situation of how elections should be done in Kenya is different from what Peter Mbai has been saying. This is realistic. What happens actually in reality. So when people have been complaining about election rigging, about us struggling with election systems, election reforms, and the late Raila Odinga died fighting for the changes. He was the guy who went into serious litigations to bring back order to our election system for many years of his life. He was always fighting for election reforms, but Peter Mbai and the group were against all this time. But now if Peter Mbai and his team now takes the mantle to start fighting for election reforms, we are in a good situation. Yeah. Okay. Unless Peter Mbai and his friends come to fight for election reforms, Kenya will never change.
Just hold that. Mheshimiwa Pitorero, representing the great people of Kibra, is also here with us. Mheshimiwa, good morning.
Morning.
It's been a while as well.
Yeah,
Karibu sana.
It's been a while.
Yes.
But you're here. Now we are on recess.
Yes.
Official
yes,
recess.
we need to have some rest.
Yeah.
The also time we talked, you were also up and about. I think you're the same platform with Peter Mbai, but different camps. Kariobangi, Magarini, you're all over. It must have been a tough one. It's like we were going for a general election.
Yeah, it was almost like a testing ground for the main election. We had many MCAs being elected and also 5 or so MPs, 5 MPs being elected. I'm just surprised that my friend has never been in the deep waters. At this time he experienced what the political climate in this country is. Yesterday I read an article in the Nation newspaper.
Yes.
And I think his party leader, when he was being accused of utterances that are not consistent with the political climate in this country, he said that he is a very focused man and knows that politics is not a church. It is not a wedding. And he knows that politics requires muscle. And that was his party leader.
Yes.
That it is not a church, it is not a wedding. So what he experienced is the reality on the ground about the political situation in this country. When you see some of these politicians and you ask them what they have gone through during the political maneuvering, they will tell you that that was just, it's the normal way of doing politics in this country. I don't really want to echo what my friend Oscar has talked about, but I just want to reiterate that really, as ODM political party, we have been fighting for these reforms for a very long time. Very, very long time. In fact, they have been in the advisory committee of the late Baba since 2013. And Baba never subscribed to mediocrity. People did not know. He entirely relied on meritocracy and involved high-level political thinkers, the intellectuals, who would shape up his ideologies in terms of political policies. And people did not know this. So when they experience what we have been experiencing for a long time, I welcome them to this platform. If we combine efforts, then we'll have a flawless political structures, that an enabling environment where everybody will agree that this is the reforms that we require as a country so that we have flawless political contests. So I think, Daktari, welcome to this environment that we have gone through it. Even my friend here I know has gone through it. Before I became an MP, I also went for a by-election. And the same happened to me. and I experienced. So when I came back, I was more informed, I was more prepared. I knew the ropes that I could hold. So your 6 months party.
We need a welcoming party to the club for Daktari. A welcoming party. Gentlemen, let's go through the front page of the local dailies very fast. Starting with you, Oscar. What's the front page of the newspaper you have? That's Daily Nation. Just raise it up. Front page, what does it say? How Russian? Go ahead.
Oh, how Russian agents lure Kenyans to war. I think it's about the war happening in Russia.
Yeah.
And I think young Kenyans are being recruited to join the war in Russia. I think the war has taken too long, and the people who are fighting in the war are getting exhausted, because sometimes war exhausts. So because of globalization and because people are working, and war is part of work, and there's the war economy, and I think Kenyans or young people can be lured to that, because also the frustration of lack of unemployment. You know, we have a serious issues of youth unemployment in the country, which is a disaster, and we are quoting a disaster which is going to blow very soon. I don't know if we will pass 2027 if we have those number of youths hanging on the streets. You remember, Agenda 4 of Kofi Annan was youth unemployment, because from whatever Kofi Annan and group did here, they had 4 agendas. There was the reform, the institutional reforms, election reforms that we are taking with the body here, because we brought in Kriegler to make sure that our elections have sanity and hygiene, which over the years since Kofi Annan, that was in 2007, till today. In 2027, it will be 10 years since Kofi Annan was here. It will be 20 years. Yes, 20 years since Kofi Annan was here. We've never finished working on the 4 agendas. Agenda 1 was that let us restore, because there was war in Burnt Forest and Kibera and whatever. Let us stop the direct conflict.
Why do you people like talking about Kibera every time? Why don't you give another example?
It was a hotspot in 2007. Okay. Yeah, Burnt Forest, I've talked about Burnt Forest. Why did so Kibera was not anymore. It is settled down now. And Kondele was a hotspot, settled down now. Now, again, after that, there was the reforms of land reforms, which, you know, institutional reforms, which we had to reform the prisons, the police, and all this, and the new constitution coming into place. We put a new constitution, although we've not really fully implemented, again, the new constitution. The problem of implementation of the new constitution is that we went through a program, and from Wako draft to Kilifi draft, you know, all that stuff that happened, and Kenyans decided, including my friend Daktari here, to give the individuals who opposed the new constitution to implement it. Uhuru Kenyatta and Deputy William Ruto by then had not been so much supportive of the new constitution, but they got the chance to implement it. So the implementation has had a problem, because people who didn't have the DNA of that constitution, Raila Odinga was not given a chance to implement the new constitution. So we've had a problem with devolution, we've had a problem with exactly institutional reforms, and we're still getting back now to the center. And you know, Kenyans, when they gave themselves the new constitution, really wanted devolution and really wanted to, yes, but we are focusing and going back to the center. For example, you know, one of the ministries called Health Ministry has been fully devolved. And if it's fully devolved, that means that SHA and everything should be done by the devolved units.
Based on what's on the front page, last week I had a discussion here with the PS for, that is Judith Pereno, PS for State Department for Justice and Human Rights and Constitutional Affairs, and she said that the government is working. It's a government-to-government engagement to ensure that Kenyans who are allegedly recruited in the Russian war front are brought back home. So there is a discussion, and yes, she said that there are a number of Kenyans who are out there. So they really want to know whether they are there willingly, they got recruited in the right manner, or you know,
but Victor, that is too
little. What's happening.
That is too little, too late. Those are lethargic government responses. You can't tell us whether they went there willingly or not. People are picked here to go and do other jobs. When they get there, they are recruited into army. Look, who gives agencies their licenses to take people out? It's government. They know they are crooks, but they are just there because some of these agencies are owned by senior people in government. Let's not pretend we don't know what is the root cause of this problem. Please. I don't think you are going to sit here, begin thinking, oh, we don't know how they went, whether willingly. We know that agencies is a big business. run by senior people. This is actually like trafficking, human trafficking. You get people here in the premise you're going to get a job, right? When you get there, you are told now, sign contracts, and you don't understand, and they're in Russia. So please, government should take responsibility of the people who are dying there and people who are suffering, because they are the ones who license the agencies. They know the agencies are crook. They are crooks, but then nothing is happening to them. So who do you blame? The buck goes back to it's government who is supposed to protect its people.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Mushima, front page of the Standard.
Wild beasts blockade.
Wild beasts blockade.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with the Masai Mara. And it is that presidential directive allowing hotelier, the Ritz-Carlton, to erect structures within the migration corridors. A move experts warn could disrupt the fragile ecosystem. Conservationists are beside themselves with consternation as they seek court orders to hold decision that offers only short-term financial gains for a handful of powerful government figures.
Yeah.
You know, these wonders of the world and this migration of wild beasts has always been now put as, is it the 8th wonders of the world? And if you go to Masai Mara, when the migration is now, you will see that if there is any interference with this ecosystem, then we would, this will really be destroyed. We will not have any movement of these wild beasts. And you know, it is, I think, from Tanzania borders to Kenya borders. And this is one of the tourist attractions in this country. And many people bring a lot of foreign money for our country. I have no evidential background. I don't have tangible evidence to claim knowledge on this. But if it were true, then it should be stopped.
Yeah.
So that we conserve our wild.
There's a lot of concern even from the area locals there, who are they say the rightful owners, the Maasais and the community. There's a lot of back and forth with the Ritz-Carlton, one of the biggest entrepreneurs in the world, building a hotel there in the Masai Mara. So we just wait for
Victor, I don't know why the member of parliament, because we had the advantage in this panel to have a sitting member of parliament, because this matter has been in the public space for the last 1 month since it was launched, and the president went to commission it. But one thing I'm happy, and one thing very interesting here is that the broad-based people, they have a way of balancing things and leaving things somewhere in the middle. You know, we don't have facts. We live in there are things that we know in the public, that this hotel was built in a corridor, literally, where the wildebeest pass. That is information in the public. Number 2, there is a letter there written by the president exempting, because there is a general policy, you don't build a hotel in the corridor. It's there in the conservation, whatever area. Then the president writes a letter for this particular hotel, to build a hotel right in the middle. The question people, Kenyans are asking, who is the owner of this hotel? We know in this country where there's some face there, but the owners are hidden somewhere. Very powerful people in this government who owns the hotel. So we are asking, Victor, you come to this country, Victor, you are given some responsibility to lead the country or to be in some leadership positions. But remember, there are people who have been there since time immemorial, and others are going to be there after you. You should come, be a good steward of what you find, and then leave. But when you come now and you begin deconstructing everything you found, this is dangerous. But it is coming from the president. He's the one who is saying, put a hotel there. He actually went to launch it. And people are thinking he has some connection of ownership there. That's what people are saying, not me. So what should be done? We are going to go to court. Very simple. We are going to destroy that hotel, to demolish it, because you cannot come. Wait.
You and who?
When I say we, the United Opposition. With the United Opposition, because you cannot come and say, because you
how are you going to destroy it?
No, it's going to come down because it's a court order. You cannot, in short, let's go to the principle.
Okay.
The principle is this: you cannot, because you are the president or one of the senior leaders in this country, come and destroy a legacy that has been there since we knew about wildebeest migration. That's the principle. So how you go about it, if you cannot, on your own as government, know that it is ideal or it is immoral, unethical, illegal, unconstitutional to do a hotel in the midst of the pathway. We go to court to ask the judges to kindly help us, to help the government to know that it is illegal. It is very unfortunate, Victor. If I come here, I'm a leader myself, okay? I'm looking, for example, to vie for Senate in Nakuru. I should come there and steward what I find the public property in Nakuru until the time I am a leader. Then I leave, because I'm not the last one to be on this earth. I leave it to other people to continue. This is dangerous. We cannot kill our country like this. But unfortunately, our leaders here will say, we don't have facts. We are still studying. We are waiting for reports to come in the progress.
Let's welcome.
I just wanted to tell him that
but let's welcome
he's being too ambitious with his wordings.
One second.
No,
Michael Muya,
that is my opinion. This is an opinion show.
Just a minute. Michael Muya, karibu sana.
Asante sana.
You ditched KANU. Why? To Wiper.
KANU and Wiper, we are together. Only Gideon is going to broad base, but we are not very sure where we are. We were all in Azimio. So KANU and Wiper, they are together.
I get the point.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get Mheshimiwa 1 minute before we take a break.
We are working around Kalonzo within KANU. Forget about Gideon as the chair. He went alone. He didn't go with the party. He went alone. And KANU, of course, sits on its own, but supports. We are far right centered party.
Right.
So we are more aligned to Kalonzo.
Okay. Let's get Mheshimiwa. You have 1 minute to respond to that before we take a break.
Yeah, I was just saying that, as a sitting legislator, I cannot come here publicly to say what I don't have evidence on. Because we make laws in Parliament. We analyze and also defend. And I cannot come and say that I'm going to bring this thing down. But maybe through court order, and that is a different arm of the government. We have 3 arms of the government. So if the courts, the judiciary, finds it that this is illegal, which of course, if it is in the corridors where we have migration, of course it is illegal. It interferes with the ecosystem in that region. That is why I'm saying that if we have enough evidential background, then we can take that legal action. So, and my friend Peter, we are namesakes, and we have been here together.
But again, something surprises me about the member of parliament here. Then what does parliament do?
I am saying that, but this is what we do. We make laws.
Mheshimiwa, why are you sitting in the fence?
I'm not sitting in the fence. I'm saying if this,
where there is,
if we have representation from that region, and they have come out boldly about this, their area member of parliament, the people in Masai Mara.
Masai Mara does not belong to the people who live there. Masai Mara belongs to Kenyans, and you represent us as the nation.
Let me tell you one thing, that because of the devolution, we have certain concepts that are only concerned with the region, because they have been demanding that whatever is the revenue that is collected from Masai Mara should go to their county. It is a demand that they have put forward as members of parliament and leaders of that area, which I fully support, that this Masai Mara is found in their county, and whatever revenue is collected there should be injected in their county. Masai Mara is found in that region.
Yes.
And what we need to do, we have legislative gaps that has not been filled in terms of devolution. My friend said very well that those who are implementing this constitution did not have the genes for this. So if we fill those gaps, the constitutional gaps about the revenue of this.
Let's take a 30 seconds break, then we come back. I'll circle back with you, Mheshimiwa, because now you're seriously sitting on the crossfire on behalf of your
That
people.
is why I'm here.
Exactly.
I actually want to chip.
We'll be right back. Stay with us.
What are you asking now? You cannot talk about
No, but we need to go
in
back
that
to
book,
the
send it, and it's already.
Got the fear of missing out? Want to keep up with all the latest entertainment news and latest celebrity gossip? From the latest rumors to popping events to the newest fashion trends, here is where you get all the tea or juice when it comes to entertainment, and you get it served on time. All that and so much more on Grapevine every single Monday only on KBC Channel 1. Remember, if you did not see it on Grapevine, then it most probably never happened.
Are you a talented artist? Or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with our music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
In the shortest possible
All right,
time.
welcome back. Now, let's get into our substantive discussion now. In the studio, I have Dr. Peter Mbai, who is a Secretary, Planning and Economic Affairs, DCP Party. Oscar Mondi is a political and governance expert. He's also a political and university lecturer. Honorable Peter Rero, representing the great people of Kibra constituency, and Michael Muya, who is a politician, a gentleman who just ditched Kwanu and joined Wiper. But he says that this same house, it is okay. He's also a political analyst. Gentlemen, let's do this. Now, let me start by you, Mike. Now, what has it that Kalonzo Musyoka is gaining a lot of momentum? That.
Yes, I think where he sits today as Kalonzo Musyoka, he has never sat as a presidential candidate like he seated today. Kalonzo now sits like the serious presidential candidate against the sitting government, which is Ruto. And he sits very well. And he has never sat like that politically. He has tried to be a president, but he has never, ever sat like he seated today. But there is a question here. As much as he's seated, and we have seen from the by-elections we have had right now and the government system, how the government systems worked around the elections in Bere, and then the elections we had in the members of parliament. You look at it, the government is sitting very well. And it is not very easy to also dethrone a sitting president. He should not find comfort around where he's seated as Kalonzo Musyoka, as the leader of opposition. He needs to go a little bit further and then realize and look and come around what Ruto did to become the president. He's seated well and good, but there is a lot of groundwork to be done by him as the presidential candidate, and the people around him. They need to really come out very strong around making him a president. It is not as easy as it looked. We've had Raila, very strong and enigma. But Raila has lost elections almost 3 times. I don't know, he won some, he lost. But he has never become the president of his country. Like Kalonzo sits today, he looks the possible president, the future president. People are talking of 1 term, 2 term. But it is not as easy as it looks. He really needs to come out strong. I support him. He's a very great man. He can make a difference in this country as a person. I really appreciate the kind of a person he is. But he really needs to go a step further to make himself the president to be, if he is going to be. But he still sits there at the fence, and maybe
Victor, really, you know, sometimes I like hitting straight from the hip.
Go ahead.
We had an opportunity in these recent by-elections. A serious presidential candidate should have failed the candidates. If 6 months old DCP fielded candidates in this by-election, my friend in the Wiper Party never fielded. And if they fielded, the candidates faded away. In politics, you are not given. You take leadership, you grab. I have not seen my friend Kalonzo Musyoka remove the gloves. When is he going to remove the gloves? Why would you sit pretty for people to give you leadership in this country as a president? What difference are you going to make? You know, people don't have history of this country. Kalonzo Musyoka, during President Moi's time, was a conformist.
Yeah.
He worked with Moi for a very long time. And the tenets, the kind of political behavior that he portrays now, he must have inherited from the Moi era. And he has served in all this political environment. When Kibaki came, he served as the vice president of President Kibaki. So he has been in this system for a very long time. In my own heart, what change do we expect with Kalonzo as a presidential candidate? He must come out to tell Kenyans what he wants as the president of this country. He must come out full-blown so that Kenyans can see that he's an alternative presidential candidate. But up to now, he does not feature anywhere as a presidential candidate. He is sitting pretty for Wamunyoro to bring his people to support him
my chance,
so
my
that
chance.
he attains
I know
the
that I disagree with you. Order. You're being unfair.
And I can tell you for sure that all presidential candidates work hard to be presidents. Start with Obama, start with Biden, Trump, come to Kenya, look at how Raila has tried 5 times with the people behind him, and he was never a president. He was only the people's president in this country. So we only have 2 years, and somebody is sitting pretty, including his very close confidant, saying that he needs to go out, remove the gloves, and go to this country. Why didn't Wiper field candidates to test ground in Ugunja, in Magharibi, in where?
Talk of that.
Yes.
Rigathi Gachagua invited ODM for a discussion with him, and if you're not comfortable with having a discussion with him, then you can have a discussion with Kalonzo Musyoka. He invited you to the United Opposition.
Let me tell you, I have very little respect for Rigathi Gachagua as a person.
Oscar. I'll come back to that.
Yes. What happens, your question, if I go back to your question.
Yes.
That is Kalonzo Musyoka's star rising now? That was the question that you asked. I think it is true. Kalonzo Musyoka's star is rising now because of the dynamics therein. For the first time, you know, when we started in 1963 and what have you, the Luo, tribal politics were here. The Luo and the Kikuyu have always been together and could always build government. From even the Grand Coalition, Kibaki, and Raila says Kibaki Tosha, and now it happens. For the first time, really. The community called the Luo community, where I come from, don't have a presidential candidate that is seen at this time. Because when you do opinion counts, it's not like election. Elections is when we measure the voter behavior. But now we are doing opinion counts. If Stateman comes to ask you today, they ask you, who will be the president now, not in 2027, in case elections are held today?
Yes.
That is what they ask. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Not in 2027. 2027 can be another game changer because we never know who gets to 2027. But when we ask the question is, who could be the president now if elections are held today? Right? And that's the question you're asking if Kalonzo Musyoka's star is rising. I think it is rising because of the dynamics therein. The Kikuyu community, the Luo community, don't have presidential candidates. Among the 4 big communities in Kenyan politics today, we have the Kamba community, we have the Kalenjin community, we have the Kikuyu community, we have the Luo community. The 4 big tribes before you come down there. You give it a,
what about the Luya?
The Luya is a big community, but see, the Luya, Professor Were here tried writing about the history of the Luya, but it was a bit divided. Yes, it's a bit dismissed. No, just the history of the Luya. There's nothing called the Luya. It doesn't exist.
Luya is not a tribe.
It's not a tribe.
No.
It's not. It's not a tribe. So what happens is,
it is not.
That's the thing.
Yeah, it is. It's not a tribe.
Okay. Bethel, I will take you to come to class then. I don't want to go to that because of time. What Bethel wrote about the origin of the Luo, the Bethel tried to...
And that is the truth.
The origin of the Luo from the 14th century. Professor Were tried to trace the origin of the Luya, but he couldn't trace the origin of the Luya because they are not called the Luya. We have the Bakusus, we have the Maragolis, we have the...
And you know Maragolis and the Kisses are brothers, by the way.
Samia. Wait now. So what I'm saying, technically, Victor, technically,
okay, Oscar.
what I'm saying technically, among the four big, even when you're watching EPL, what we normally say is the four big clubs: Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United, and Chelsea. All this.
No, you start with Arsenal.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yes.
So the thing is, Kalonzo has the best chance because now we have a Kalenjin as an incumbent, and we have the Luo here who don't really have a candidate. Rest in peace, Baba. And we have the Kikuyu who is the main guy faced an impeachment, cannot go through an election.
No, there's an appeal. Please, I think
we don't discuss appeals. We can't discuss things in court. You know, you're discussing things in court. Things in court can go either way. I'm saying if elections are held today, again, Mr. Mbai, now I'm talking to you. If elections are held today,
he can't contest.
Yes, he can't contest. So the appeal is in 2027.
Okay.
So I'm saying today. So what I'm saying, Kalonzo Musyoka, because of the dynamics they are in, fits well. Whatever Orero is talking about, Mushime is talking about here, is that he should be able to show he should be presidential.
Come out.
He should come out and become presidential. But dynamics are there in, he has a good chance.
And actually just come around Ruto as a president. How did he become a president?
Thank you.
He really came out.
Let's leave Japan. We are being harassed because we have a lecturer here and he is literally lecturing us seriously. Even telling us this isn't to me. That's very serious. You need to protect us.
I'm the expert here, I'm the expert here.
I'm very concerned.
Governance expert.
No. This is very serious. Now we are being lectured. I'm being told, please listen to me. Like you're in a class. First of all, please, for the purpose of those people who are watching, please ignore all those issues. They are not scientific. The issues to say that Luya is not a community. No. We can't go that direction. We keep that for another day when we are all. We also going to come with books. Okay. But let me say this. I can't say this.
There is no tribe called Luya. That's what he has said.
No, first of all, we don't talk about where we stand. We don't talk about tribes. We talk about communities. We don't talk about tribes. So it's not politically correct. So let me say this. First of all, the Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka didn't have to field candidates in all the 23 positions.
You had consensus at some point?
Yeah, exactly. He didn't have to show that he's national or presidential. That's number one. Because he went, or most of the places, to campaign anyway. We had an agreement. Magarini do this, but Kalonzo actually was leading our team there. He went to Mbere. Kalonzo was everywhere else. So that's number one.
He was all over.
Two, the Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, in 2027, Victor, people don't want a one-man show. That I am the president, I can run across what we did in 2022. And that's where we have the problems we have. Because what 2022 happened is a one-man syndrome, where I am the one. People want a 2002 situation. When people come together and agree, nobody here is better than the other, but we have one man who can lead us as a team. That's where Kalonzo is coming in. Okay? So he's being considered as one of the front runners. He is a presidential candidate for Wiper. Okay? We are going to endorse Rigathi Gachagua as our presidential candidate next year. Martha Karua is a presidential candidate. We are going to have DAPK as a presidential candidate. They are all going to come together, several of them.
That sounds like a decoy, but Rigathi Gachagua at some point said that you're going to have a deal.
Let me be very clear today on this show. Let me be very clear on this show. Rigathi Gachagua is our presidential candidate as DCP, right? Let me be very clear. Then later, they are going to agree on the formation to have one presidential candidate. Let me be very clear. And let me repeat it again here for the purpose of record. Nothing prevents the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua today to vie for presidency. Nothing.
No.
The
law he can.
This is my opinion.
If you talk today,
because there is an appeal in court now. And the court mechanism has not been exhausted. So number three, I don't know why suddenly.
Now you realize
when you mentioned, I don't know why.
You're giving him too much time. Say nothing.
When you mentioned about Kalonzo, you can see the pattern. the same words, people are already beginning attacking Kalonzo, especially people in ODM. And I'm wondering, Kalonzo literally, literally stuck with Baba so badly. It was the first time 2017, from 2013, 2017, they made him go for an interview in 2022, which they said he has failed. Surely, if you look at the people down there, the original people in Amimo and ODM, they love Kalonzo because they can see he died with Baba. But the elite, the MPs and people in broad-based, they are fearing Kalonzo. I'm just telling you. They are fearing Kalonzo because they can see he's a man ahead. The same case, they are attacking Rigathi Gachagua. Look at Karuma, what he said. That you see, Kalonzo, we like you, but so they are trying to divide. They are not sure where to stand. But we don't like Gachagua. And I want to say this today, please. Look here, Rigathi Gachagua is already the Kalonzo team stood with Rigathi Gachagua during impeachment. Let's go through here. So Rigathi Gachagua has a right to support Kalonzo. So if you want the elite, I'm talking about the elite. Locals have no problem. By the way, locals have no problem with Rigathi Gachagua either.
Which locals?
The
but we are representative of the locals.
Okay. No, let me
we are representatives of the locals.
I think Victor is giving by so much time.
No. I'm on my point. 95% of the Luo Nyanza have no problem with either Kalonzo or Gachagua. But let me tell you,
based on which data?
Gachagua has a right to support Kalonzo.
Okay.
Now, I don't know why. Then the elite of ODM should then support Kalonzo without conditions or feelings.
Thank you.
Simple. I don't know what the problem is because why do they have a problem with Gachagua supporting Kalonzo? They should support Kalonzo.
Let me ask you the
call your horses.
It's very simple.
Does Gachagua have a right to senator, governor, and the woman rep in Nairobi?
Gachagua
by supporting Kalonzo.
Good.
Plus 16 MPs.
This is what he said. He said, as a party, your party, you should come and or rather further the interests of your party. He said DCP has a right. And by the way, let me repeat it today for record. We are going to field candidates just like any other party.
You know, when he talks about the elite, there is no, as an MP, I'm not an elite. I represent the downtrodden people in this country.
2%.
The people who live in, when you talk of Kibra people, these are people, the low cadre of people. And that is where I belong. I'm not representing the elites. So I represent the aspirations of the people of Kibra. And I talk on their behalf. I had just said, he's very selective on what I say. I said, as a presidential candidate, Kalonzo should come out.
Yes.
And let people see. Let him remove his
very well.
Yeah.
And let's agree.
Yeah.
He sits very well.
Let him come out.
But
and so that Kenyans can see that he's a presidential candidate.
We need to see him more.
But not to wait that he's being supported by Wamunyoro.
No.
That he is sure that Wamunyoro will bring the people for him.
Victor. What is the problem? If Wamunyoro decided to bring votes for him.
You know, in politics, because he is not a member of parliament, you are not given. You go for it. We are not seeing Kalonzo going for this thing. People are just saying, he's saying that they agreed in a boardroom that he should not field candidates. Yet, they want to support him as a presidential candidate.
Without candidates?
Without candidates. Why would they not cede ground? Why would they not cede ground for Kalonzo as their presidential candidate to field candidates in other constituencies? And by the way, as ODM, we really respect Kalonzo. That is why, even now, the deputy minority leader in a parliament is from Wiper Party.
Yeah.
Boy. When you go to the Senate, it's the same thing.
It is you who supposed to come.
So, we are saying that us as ODM, we have a lot of respect for the Wiper Party, and we are still working with them. But we are saying, we are now looking as presidential candidate. We are saying that Kalonzo himself cannot sit and wait for people to give him precedence.
No, who is with him?
Let me ask Mike. Mike, the political dynamics. Okay, they've spoken about 2013, 2017, 2022. But the political dynamics, again, based on Baba's demise, is most likely to change.
Yes.
A situation where they said, Rigathi Gachagua said that ODM should have a discussion with him, or if they don't want, they should have a conversation with Kalonzo Musyoka. What's the possibility? Wiper talking to ODM or ODM talking to...
Before he talks, you know, big rivers cannot join small rivers.
Hold that again. I have two holes on you.
How can the ODM, the biggest political party in East Central Africa, to join a 6 months old? Who invites them?
ODM is a strong party, but a strong party with Raila. Raila is not there.
Very good. Thank you.
So ODM is not the ODM we used to have with Raila when Raila was alive. Right now, even Wiper is bigger than ODM today as we sit.
What do you mean?
ODM, Wiper. Forget about the number of seats, the dynamics of politics with the leadership. Kalonzo is
what parameters do we use to judge a political party?
We have a presidential candidate, and you agree should be.
From what I'm getting, a party is stronger with a presidential candidate.
No.
So now that what if ODM had a presidential candidate today?
Okay.
So it will be bigger than Wiper?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Not the number of seats in Parliament or in the Senate and the county assembly.
But Victor, somebody's telling me here. But you had a chance. Somebody's telling me here. Why again is Mbai against Kalonzo? The people who are watching this.
No, he has brought it himself.
No.
He's the one who has told me that issue.
The people who are watching this show are seeing as if Mbai and DCP are against Kalonzo.
He is the one who has brought up that one here like
I think
he has cooked it here like now.
No, wait.
He has cooked it like
wait. What I'm saying is this.
Are you against Kalonzo?
No.
Are you against Kalonzo?
Look here.
No. Are you against?
They are twisting it because they know we have already supporting Kalonzo, and they don't want to support. They want.
From the discussion you're asking. Wait.
Why do you have a problem?
From the discussion you're asking.
Supporting Kalonzo.
From the discussion you're asking. From the discussion you're asking. And is not one of thing. The discussion between Kalonzo in united opposition. And where he sits in united opposition, and the verbal attacks or the verbal talk of Gachagua, the party leader of DCP, for example, of taking the entire Nairobi. Tumesema Kalonzo, Nairobi yote ni yetu. Tumesema 50% of government ni yetu. What they want to do, they are supporting Kalonzo, lakini they are looking at a situation where they can hold him captive when he gets power, within or without. From whatever he's discussing, you can really see it in him that they support. They have a problem because they don't have a presidential candidate. They have nobody to fill. That's why I told you dynamics allow, because they don't have a presidential candidate. Even as an ODM, and what we are discussing now, the ODM is a small party, because we are lacking what? A substantive presidential candidate. Same problem here. And then I told you that because of dynamics. What we have today, the rise of Kalonzo, that was the question you asked. And you can see where DCP is coming. And whatever Mbai is talking about is exactly what Gachagua is talking about. That 16 seats, members of parliament, 16 out
in Nairobi. Out of 17.
And even those by-elections that Orero is talking about, that he never fielded candidate.
Call me Mwalimu
Orero. He is talking about, probably, in this boardroom discussions, they forced Kalonzo not to field candidates. You know very well, for example, in Kariobangi. I know that constituency very well. In Kariobangi, the boy who passed on, the MCA who passed on was called Monove. Akamba, yeah. Who died, and he was independent before he died. Get me right? Yeah. But the person who was running after him, his own brother, did so well in that campaign, but was not supported. So practically, probably, Kalonzo was forced just to exist. Because of our vote. They're bullying people. It's bullying because of the problem. The problem, Mike, is happening here. Somebody has probably 6 million votes that he claims. I have 6 million votes in my basket. So he's using the 6 million votes to bully other candidates, even within the united opposition. You know very well that before Kalonzo became a presidential candidate, they had Matiang'i, whom they had a problem with. And they told Matiang'i must go back to Kisii and form his own political party to come and discuss with us.
Yes.
Now they're saying, Kalonzo also, when we are uniting with you, one of the questions Nairobi forgets, all these positions, blah, 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 and give us 50% of government. Bullying because of the claim.
The numbers.
Right. And this is what Mutai Ngunyi talked about the other time. What was it? Tyranny of numbers. So they're bullying people with the tyranny of numbers.
Let me just for 1 minute for Orlando.
1 minute. I've undressed him.
No.
Even if you give him chance, he will say nothing now.
2 3 things. One. It is on record, and the Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka and the Rigathi Gachagua have said they are working as a team towards Nairobi.
Too many conditions.
Wait. It is very bad for him to insinuate that Kalonzo was outmaneuvered in the issue of Kariobangi. Please, I'm asking, outsiders, keep off family issues between family members, cousins, and in-laws. You cannot come and pretend to know what happens in the bedroom. Wait a minute.
You talk
that is wrong.
Is it public domain?
No.
I cousin. And now they have come with the cussing. You know this. I cousin.
No, please. Number two, the other issue. Honestly, I'm asking. That thing was clarified, and Kalonzo is saying, "Why are you shouting more than me?" Rigathi Gachagua is talking about me, and it was clarified because the 16 positions is out of the united opposition.
So let me ask you.
But it's good to clarify. This is important.
No, he didn't talk of united. He said the DCP will have 16 candidates. Which are united opposition.
It was clarified.
We don't need to clarification.
It was Gachagua. And we are saying we are not asking. Please let me clarify for the purpose of national unity.
Been clarifying and clarifying.
We are not
let me ask you this question. Okay, fine.
Yeah, we are not just asking ODM to join the united opposition. It's a partnership.
Lakini ambia Gachagua pia akwe mpole. Mwambia akwe mpole.
Allow me to say, wait, Kajwang said this at the funeral, that Kalonzo will love you so much, we like you so much. The problem is the friends you keep. This mouthy Gachagua who talks about he doesn't even know. He doesn't know decorum.
Everywhere.
He shares even within the United Opposition.
Let me say
the same problem.
Allow me. Just
the way he talks does not seem good for this country. Forget about Mount Kenya, the country.
Gentlemen,
the country Kenya.
Gentlemen, no. Let me also ask a question. The question is it a bait you're throwing for Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka for 16 seats out of 17? I don't know where Orero is,
You know here.
Will you be among the 16?
Can I answer that question? That's my question.
No.
Can I answer?
Is it a bait that Rigathi Gachagua is, yes, I'll support you, Kalonzo Musyoka, but because of the support you're going to give me 16 out of 17, is it even
Don't touch Nairobi.
Victor, please for record, and by the way, this one should end here. The clarification is that 16 is out of the united opposition. That's what he said. And
who said?
No.
He didn't say that.
The 16. Wait a minute.
You are clarifying.
Wait a minute. Because I'm here to clarify. I sit in
okay, now that you have the advantage of sitting in the DCP next to Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, please give us a black and white copy of what was said.
Let me
black and white.
No, we can't run it. No, don't give him that chance.
I know that.
You want to give him a chance to misguide us?
No.
Having in mind, hold.
Let me say one thing.
Okay.
I don't know why this is
so many. You said the governor goes to. Just a minute. No. Just a minute. Governor goes to.
Pardon?
Governor goes to
DCP. 16 MPs, DCP. MCS, DCP.
Just give me a black and white copy. Just a black and white copy.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Governor, Senator, Women Lab, MPs, MCS across the country would go to the united opposition.
I told you to give him
DCP,
That is not what I said.
DCP will field candidates everywhere from across the country. DCP will field candidates in Nairobi. Let me talk about Nairobi.
DCP am a united opposition.
DCP will field candidates. Wiper will have their own. Then you go and agree.
Yes.
Which will take what? Please let me repeat again. DCP is a party that is supposed to form government.
Fine.
We are going to field candidates everywhere.
Talking about the coalition.
Wait a minute. You cannot come
in the coalition.
We cannot discuss our bedroom issues.
Gentlemen.
And I'm happy DCP is a subject of discussion 6 months later. I'm very happy to that.
Give it to Victor now.
Let's Victor.
Okay.
I think
I'll start with you. Mheshimiwa. And this is going to be like your closing remarks. Go ahead.
Let us not bring a lot of noise here, Doctor.
It is not the ADR. You are telling me.
When somebody speaks,
go ahead.
You listen. Mheshimiwa. And you know we have
the knowledge.
When they talk, you listen in the field of academia. But when we come here, we are analyzing. Now, what we are saying, like as in Nairobi, you know, you cannot import your perceived tenets of hypocrisy in terms of political maneuvering in a city like Nairobi. you come and demand that all the 16 seats in a cosmopolitan city, where we have all tribes, we have Kikuyus, we have Kambas, we have Luos, all the tribes are in Nairobi. In Nairobi, we don't do our politics the way he wants to do the politics. Here, everybody, like us, I lead a cosmopolitan constituency. I treat them equally. I cannot come and say that here, all my MCAs must be this tribe. Even in Kibra, people think that all the MCAs, we have even the Kamba MCA, we have a Kikuyu MCA in the Kibra constituency. So we cannot come and dictate the kind of people that we are going to elect, and they must belong to this political party and this tribe. We must live here in a cosmopolitan city and know the kind of politics we bring here. We are not going to bring politics of shares.
Okay. Let me add on to what he's saying.
Kindly.
Like Nairobi sits today, the way Kalonzo sits so pretty around the presidential candidate, Babu Owino sits very nice as the future governor of Nairobi, within the majority of people in Nairobi. Forget about the tribe. Babu Owino sits very well today. And you talk and you listen to people, and everybody, even me, I like the chap. So that is why it's cosmopolitan. We are not talking about even Akamba being the governor of Wakamba de wengi hapa, Waluya de wengi, Wajaluo de wengi. Lakini, you see, like somebody, Babu Owino now, today, is the best seated future governor of Nairobi. Why? It is not about tribe. It's a cosmopolitan city. So we look at it the way Kalonzo as a Kamba sits very well as a future president of this country. And we all sit together and say, Kalonzo Akosao.
Kalonzo Akosao.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm saying is that I think the share business is now coming very clear about this Gachagua person. Because the problem that he had with William Ruto about shares, and that made them part ways, is the same problem he's now brought to the united opposition. He's talking about sharing. What you do, I'm advising you now, as a person, go and sit down, wacha kugawa kwanza, win the position kwanza. Precisely. After winning government, then see what you can do. But if not sharing before you win, it will bring commotion even within united opposition. And that is why there is a lot of mistrust around united opposition today. The only problem that the incumbency has, the only step that the incumbency has, the incumbency knows who is the presidential candidate, and probably the deputy presidential candidate in the UDA, William Ruto and Kindiki. The biggest problem that we had, and I'm advising you because we were once there, where we went wrong with Raila Odinga for the last 5 elections. We had two problems always. One problem was primaries, party primaries. We always broke away after the party primaries. And the choice of the presidential flag bearer, we always broke out when we have problem of dealing with who is becoming our flag bearer.
Okay.
When we won when Raila Odinga said Tosha, Kibaki Tosha, it is the united opposition that went and beat Moi, and only because Raila said all the rest Kibaki.
All right, Tosha. You've had that bet.
Yeah, I had it. So by a few seconds, just to say, please, I want to urge the ODM elite to support Kalonzo Musyoka unconditionally without feelings. Legacy Gachagua has a right to support Kalonzo, so please support
with conditions.
Also unconditionally without saying why is Gachagua supporting Kalonzo. Finally, I want to say this for avoidance of doubt. Every party is formed to win seats. We are going to go for all the positions in this country. Wiper has a right to do so. Then you come together and agree who takes the lead in which area. That is what is going to say. The only thing constant in this country for now is one-term movement. That is the only constant thing.
The gentleman speaking is Dr. Peter Mbai. Doctor, where did you sleep over the weekend?
You didn't sleep.
Did you allow the weekend?
He has not slept.
He's frustrated.
I've been Nakuru. I've been on the ground.
But you saw the frustration.
I'm on the ground. I don't know why DCP is calling so many.
Peter Mbai,
Shiva, 6 months.
Secretary Planning and Economic Affairs.
Everybody is talking about
at the end of the day, at least Gachagua where he is.
Next to him is Oscar Mondi.
He has had.
Mheshimiwa Pitorero, thank you so much for coming. Mheshimiwa,
why don't I say hi to Kibra people?
Time is up. Hi. Michael Buya, thank you so much. Gentlemen, I appreciate it. Asante sana.
Thank you for having us.
Coming back with Achola. Sing that.
Hii bag ni ya nini?
Tacho mate hii madaraka te lazima nikuwe nyumbani.
Hii si madaraka, ni Jamhuri Day.
You want the intestine oro?
Ni nani waita saji?
Unajua Kifaransa?
Najua kila kitu, hata akitaka kuongea mbolingo na chao.
Hii ni chakula ina gani? Hata mtu akinipata mtu ambaye anayesimika kama mimi, anakula chakula kwa juala. Watu ungespected kama wewe wakulangi chakula ya mlango ya nyuma. Mimi nimekuja hapa kwa hoteli kula chakula. Uko na toraji? Angalia hizi ndevu zangu. Kila mtu akipata nywele nyeupe ni alikuwa maumau.
Ipo siku hata sisi yupo suwa Sajaba is bad, very bad.
But what does it have to do with me?
Oh, la 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 la.
Is he also from China?
Oh, yes. We're on the same team.
We're getting into the car and then he pulled us down. Yeah, that guy. It was you.
We just had a small argument. We know what happened now. Leave the rest at the embassy. But you may need to pay it.
All right, great. Okay, so after that intense political debate, now let's cross over to the border county of Busia County, where my colleague Ben Chumba is standing by. We have got REREC project, the last mile electricity connectivity happening there in Busia County. Ben Chumba, good morning and good to see you. Electricity has to be given a priority, that is as per the national government, last mile electricity connectivity in the country. Please just give us more updates on what's happening there and what you should expect throughout the event.
Indeed, good morning, Victor Olo. We are coming to you live from Teso South constituency. Actually, we are in a village called Amongura village. This village is about 15 kilometers from Busia town. And actually what is going to happen in this village is quite interesting because residents here for the very first time will be waking up to electricity in their homes once the commissioning is done by the Cabinet Secretary for Energy and Petroleum, Honorable Opio Wandai. Just to bring you up to speed on what is happening here is that the government, through the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation, is actually commissioning 2 community electrification projects here in Busia and also one in Siaya County, which is the neighboring county. And where I am now is Amongura village. Like I've said earlier, we are anticipating that about 72 households here will be connected to the national grid. This, of course, is a milestone for residents here because it is not only a milestone for residents here, but also a milestone for the government in terms of ensuring that there is implementation of the rural electrification agenda. Like just you can see, if my camera person can be able to pan, you can see the connectivity is already done. What is being awaited here is the commissioning of the project so that electricity is able to flow into homes like this one so that it can power basic household needs. Of course, it can improve safety and also give school children more hours to study. Like I said earlier, later this afternoon, the commissioning exercise will move to Game constituency, which is in the neighboring Siaya County, where another 210 households and 2 learning institutions, that is Ndori Primary and Ndori Secondary, will be receiving power. Both events will be presided over by Cabinet Secretary for Energy and Petroleum, Honorable Opio Wandai, alongside regional officials from REREC. Like I said earlier, for hundreds of residents across the two counties, that is Busia and Siaya, this is not just about switching on lights. It is about powering livelihoods. It is about supporting small businesses. It is about strengthening education and also transforming rural lives. Later in the day, we will be talking to residents here just to get to hear from them what difference they expect the electricity will make for their family and of course their children and household activities. We'll also be talking to a few business people here. We get to hear what they anticipate or expect to change the way they run their business because of electricity connection. So this is the scene here at Amangura village, where 72 households are beginning a new chapter with electricity. We shall definitely continue following today's commissioning events closely and of course have an official ceremony later and of course visit to the Game constituency this afternoon where the commissioning will be done for about 210 households. Remember that this project is undertaken by the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation, which was established with a mandate to ensure that it spearhead the country's green energy and also drive and implement rural electrification project. Therefore, this is a matter that we will keep tabs on. We will be visiting these two commissioning projects. That is one here at Amangura village, where I've said 72 households are expecting to be connected to the national grid. And of course, later we'll move to the neighboring county of Siaya just to see another commissioning and tell our viewers on how things will be unfolding. Like I've said earlier, this is not just a milestone for residents here because it is going to change their lives. It is going to strengthen education. It is going to support small businesses and, of course, change livelihoods. Therefore, we will keep our viewers updated in our subsequent news bulletins. But for now, back to you, Victor Migwi.
That is our reporter Ben Chumba in Teso South, just bringing us up to speed on what will be happening in as far as the last mile electricity connectivity is concerned. Away from that, I want us to talk about matters the fight against corruption. The 9th of December is the day that the International Day on Anti-Corruption, and the theme for this year's day is Uniting the Youth Against Corruption, Shaping Tomorrow's Integrity. In studio, I'm joined by Emily Moria, PhD, who is the Deputy Director, Education and Public Awareness at the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Welcome to Good Morning, Kenya.
Thank you, Mike.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this day. And first of all, we give the context of the Anti-Corruption Day. Talk about its the significance of commemorating this day, especially when it comes to the month of December, and the focus here is on the youth.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for having me. Like you've clearly stated, 9th of December is the day that International Anti-Corruption Day is commemorated. Yes. And this is done annually, every year, and it's a worldwide commemoration. And what happened is United Nations Convention Against Corruption enacted the convention enacted that every state party that has ratified should be commemorating the International Anti-Corruption Day every 9th of December. Mm-hmm. And Kenya is not left out, mm-hmm. because Kenya has ratified and domesticated the United Nations Convention. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you look at the theme of this year's Anti-Corruption Day, yeah, and it's focusing on the youth, saying that uniting the youth against corruption, shaping the future with integrity. One thing, actually two, why the youth And two, how was this arrived at?
Okay, the theme, like you've rightly said, is uniting with the youth in the fight against corruption, shaping tomorrow's integrity. It goes without saying, the biggest population in the world, not only in Kenya, is comprised of the youth.
Yes.
The Kenya alone, 75% is youth. That is people under the age of 35, yes. 35 and below. So the youth are the future of not only tomorrow, even today. So we need leaders, and we need young people into the leadership arena, and especially in this fight of corruption. We know corruption is a menace right now. It's something which has been very much ingrained into the culture. It's sort of like it's been normalized. So other than fighting corruption with the old folks, why not equip and empower the youth who we are looking at being the future of tomorrow, and especially empower them on ethics and integrity matters, because corruption is all about ethics and integrity, personal ethics, integrity, and in order to be able to fight corruption, it has to start from self. Yeah, it's a personal decision that one has to make. And the youth commanding the biggest population, and they're still energetic, and they're people we are relying on now, then it comes handy that we equip the youth and give them the skills to be able to deal with the menace of corruption. Yeah.
You know, you've said something about this effort being about starting with self.
Yeah.
Maybe you could talk about how corruption in this regard now damages a society's economy and its social justice systems.
Oh, corruption, like I said, it's a menace, it's a cancer. You know how cancer can do in one's health. Corruption has no gains at all. It only has personal gains to the person who is involving in corrupt practices. So when we look at the economy, once maybe a country is adversely involved in corrupt matters, which is basically embezzlement of public resources, then what happens to the society? What happens is that you're not able to give service to the people. Let us look at roads, infrastructure. If money which is meant to build a road to take you from point A to B, that money is embezzled, then it means the people are not able to be assisted in actually going on with their day-to-day work. So corruption, when it comes to the economy, it depletes the economy completely. In one of the dailies, it's saying
yeah, it's actually today's Stars reporting that Kenyans losing 3 billion daily to corruption in state tenders.
Just imagine.
3 billion.
If a country loses 3 billion, what does that translate to? It translates to poor infrastructure, poor service delivery when it comes to health, poor health, education. If corruption permeates itself into the education sector, what do you expect? Are we going to achieve the objective of having knowledgeable citizens in the country? No. And many other things. So corruption is in form of many things: bribery, yeah, misuse of public resources. And corruption does not go where there are no resources. Corruption actually chases resources. So in terms of economic, then the country goes down, the per capita of the country goes down. So that's how bad corruption can mess any nation. Socially, people are not able to get good health. People in hospitals, when they go to hospital, they're not able to get medication. Yeah, and many other services to the people as a result of embezzlement of of resources.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also as a public officer, when a public officer is also engaged or involved in corrupt practices, the public officer is supposed to serve the people of Kenya, isn't it? The people of a nation. So if you solicit for bribes, and especially, let me give an example when it comes to procurement. This is 3 billion on tender. Yeah, 3 billion on tender. One, maybe tender would be translated by inflating of the prices of what you're supposed to tender, or probably supplying substandard goods. So that one is for no good to the society.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to public officers, it dents the image and the perception of the office that they hold.
Sure.
I want you to talk about the role of the UN Convention Against Corruption, because it's in line with Kenya's journey to fighting corruption in this country.
Okay, UNCAC, that is the UN Convention, has helped in providing a legal foundation and institutional framework in fighting corruption. Yeah, we find under the UN Convention, it's a tool which has helped to strengthen institutions. And then also in the UN Convention, the whole agenda is to prevent corruption or to mainstream ethics and integrity. So it remains the most global tools in guiding Kenyans in the fight against corruption. And we've seen under the UN Convention, we've had laws, the legal framework, like anti-corruption and anti-bribery laws. We've had recently we have the conflict of interest law, which was assented by the president, which involves mainly public officers who are in public offices. Economic Crimes Act of 2003. So the United Nations Convention has helped in mainstreaming the fight against corruption in the form of reinforcing those laws and also continuously improving them so that they may serve the people of Kenya. Yeah.
How has it helped the EACC in its effort to deal with matters corruption?
It has helped EACC in matters of corruption because it's been able to mainstream these laws. Yeah, and to put, there are various institutions, and Kenya is not the only one in fighting under the UN Convention. Kenya is a state party, and when we talk about also the UN Convention, we'll talk also about the Kenya Leadership and Integrity Forum as we commemorate this International Anti-Corruption Day. There is a Kenya Leadership Integrity Forum, which is comprised of many stakeholders coming on board, because essentially corruption cannot just be fought by one person. So we need to bring other stakeholders on board, like the Office of Attorney General. We've come up together, Ethics and Anti-Corruption, the ODPP offices, other stakeholders like the religious institutions, the civil society also. So when it's a concerted effort, and that is what also UNCAC is promoting, that different stakeholders come together in the fight against corruption. Yeah.
Indeed. Let's look at the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission's strategy. First of all, I want you to stress on your core mandate in the fight against corruption.
Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is a constitutional commission which is established pursuant to Article 79 of the Constitution of Kenya. First, it's a lead agency in the fight against corruption. Just to give you an overview, Ethics and Anti-Corruption, as its office is at the headquarters here in Nairobi, and it is also flanked or supported by 11 regional offices. We are widely spread across the country, and the mandate of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is to combat and prevent corruption and economic crimes. And Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is able to do that through a four-pronged approach. And one of the approaches is law enforcement. Under law enforcement is whereby we do recover assets, disruptions of corruption networks, undercover investigations, and the other prong is corruption prevention. And corruption prevention is, like the old habit saying says, prevention is better than cure. So that's also a strategy other than just being reactive through asset recovery and investigations. Then we adopt also prevention mechanism. And in this prevention mechanism, this is where now we do what is called corruption risk assessments among the MDAs, that is Ministry, Departments, Agencies and Counties, review systems of institutions, and also at the same time give advisory. And on the prevention bit as well, we have the third prong, which is public education and awareness. Public education and awareness, which is very crucial here. This is where the youth come in. We do sensitization of the entire citizens of Kenya and creating awareness. And because if you do not create awareness, then people out there, maybe they don't know what they need to do. So we are very intentional on sensitizing and also training. We have a National Integrity Academy, which also does training of specialized courses, both internally and outside. And on the education bit as well, we reach out to young people. Actually, we start from the lowest level, that is the ECD, early education, all the way to institutions of learning, such as TVET, vocational colleges and universities. And we establish what we call the integrity clubs in schools. This being one of the missions to be able to inculcate values, and with a hope, with a view of seeing a character change among the youth. And lastly, on our fourth-pronged approach, we promote standards and good practices.
What would you say has been the impact of the approaches that you have given so far?
There's been a lot of impact, especially if you look at the law enforcement bit. We've been able to recover so many assets to the tune of 25 or 24 billion with 133 cases, assets. Ethics and Anti-Corruption has also been able to disrupt networks, especially when you get a lead where corruption is about to take place. On the corruption prevention, we've been able to establish mechanisms in many state departments. One, by sensitizing them and also checking their systems and trying to see the loopholes that has seen in their systems. So we've been able to do like about 41 corruption risk assessments in state departments, ministries and departments, and also counties. In the counties, as a quest for good governance, we've been able to establish what we call the corruption prevention committees in the counties. And this is a mechanism to prevent corruption. And equipping them with the skills on what areas they need to look at. And we've actually done in very many county executives and county assemblies. On the school front, we've also been able to establish quite a number of integrity clubs, almost to the tune of about between 900 to 1,000 integrity clubs. We've seen a lot of change in discipline in schools. You remember some time back you'd have so many fires in schools, breakage of fires in schools, indiscipline in schools. So through our integrity clubs, we've been able to prevent those kind of behaviors. So it's been quite successful. Yeah, I know it takes some time probably to see the gains of what EACC is doing.
Yes.
But we've done a lot, and it's just a matter of time. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. There's also, you talked about the Kenya Leadership Integrity Forum. Why was it established by EACC?
Like I mentioned earlier, the Kenya Leadership Integrity Forum is a multi-stakeholder, is a multi-agency, which brings together different stakeholders together, drawn from different sectors in Kenya. Civil society, religious groups, executives, yeah. So there is, and EACC is a secretariat of the Kenya Leadership Integrity Forum. And the reason for this is, like I said, we cannot win this fight against corruption just by investigating and recovering of assets, right?
Yes.
But you need to bring other stakeholders on board so that we help each other, and that is also the vision of ANCAC, isn't it? To fight corruption as a collective responsibility for all of us. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that also underscores the importance of having a multi-sectoral approach to combating corruption.
Yeah.
Now, let's look at the youth now, because the focus of this year's International Anti-Corruption Day falls on the youth, even from the theme itself, uniting with the youth against corruption, shaping tomorrow's integrity. Why are young people central to this year's anti-corruption education?
Young people are central. Like I said, they command the largest group in the population in this country. And they're the leaders of tomorrow. Actually, they are leading today, and they're the leaders, the main leaders of tomorrow. So as we commemorate the International Anti-Corruption Day, we are bringing youth on board. Because we know also young people, they have young minds. They have fresh ideas, yeah. So we can work together as stakeholders. They actually in Cliff also youth are major stakeholder. So we can bring the youth on board, and also to sharpen our skills on how best to canvass the issue of fighting corruption in the country. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk more on that aspect of the youth, given that they are the focus of the International Anti-Corruption Day, but we'll do that after this short break. Stay with us.
In a world where news is ever changing, staying informed is more important than ever.
Join us every week on News Check, your go-to show for the latest in current affairs, breaking news and in-depth analysis.
A warm welcome to KBC News Check.
From politics to global events, we bring you content that matter to you.
We're not just speaking about the governance and how we want to see it, but want to actually participate.
Get your facts, hear from the experts, and really understand what is happening around you.
We need to change our system first.
You have to do the impossible to make sure the message is home.
Stay ahead, stay informed, stay engaged.
Will these people, everybody agree?
Just listen to me.
Let's give him a chance to clear the air.
Catch News Check every Tuesday and Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Only on KBC Channel 1.
I have been rude to Marcelo, and I don't think he'll forgive me.
I really, really hate that woman, Rafaela.
But I found out that I couldn't do anything because she is the wife of a man who has placed all of his trust in me.
For me, you're the most handsome man here in Puebla.
What do you want from me?
It's about time that you and I clear things up.
But I was inside the house when your mother fell from the second floor.
I know someone named Clara.
Clara what?
She used to work here while my mother was still alive.
You're still watching Good Morning Kenya, and we are talking about the International Anti-Corruption Day that is set to be commemorated on the 9th of December 2025. And now we're talking about the youth and their involvement in all this. Now, Daktari, how is the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission now integrating integrity engagement with youth as the main strategy?
Ethics and anti-corruption, engaging with the youth as a main strategy, it will not have come at a better time. Yeah, like I said, youth command a big number in this country.
Yeah.
The youth are sharp, they know what they want. You noticed the last financial year when the youth were up in arms agitating for good governance.
Yes.
And that was a wake-up call to show that the youth, we cannot undermine them. They know what they want, and they're seeing what is happening.
Yeah.
So we only need to equip them with the necessary skills to be able to take this country to the next level. Yeah. They understand the budgeting processes. Yeah. They understand good and bad leaders. And they also want to be involved in the leadership of this country. And they understand where integrity is lacking. And like I mentioned, corruption has permeated in all sectors of this country. So the youth have not been left out. And if you see that kind of agitation, and being the largest population in the country, they feel disenfranchised. And especially in the sense that if they want, they go to school, they've gone to school, they've been educated, they are professionals. Yeah. For one, McHugh, who are the people who participate or do corrupt practices are professionals, isn't it? They're the lawyers we know who have been taught in the universities, the engineers, isn't it? When you talk about procurement, they are procurement officers, people who have been awarded a degree in their areas. So we need the youth in the fight against this corruption. And when they come out also after finishing school, they don't get jobs, isn't it? So they get frustrated. They are not happy. And why is it that the resources are scarce? Resources will be scarce if the resources have been depleted through corrupt practices. So, like I said, we would not have a better time, but now, to involve the youth in the fight against corruption. And like I said, they are sharp, isn't it? Citizens of Kenya, we can learn a lot about the youth. I'm sure we learned something, even when they went up to the streets. Yeah, regardless of the cons, we learned something.
Yeah.
And don't forget the youth, also, they're very well equipped. They are tech savvy.
Yes.
Yeah. So we want to go to their space. Yeah, we want to go to their space as opposed to continue fighting corruption the traditional way that has been happening. We involve them and we enlist them, we become partners in fighting corruption. Because as a commission also, one of the strategy also is collaboration and partnerships. We are willing to partner with regulatory bodies and professionals. Yeah.
You talked of tech survey, and that is true because The youth are all over social media. They are in the digital spaces. They are tech savvy. They understand what has to do with the advancements of technology. So how can they leverage these digital tools that they have in social media to promote transparency and raise awareness in matters fight against corruption?
They can leverage technology. We can use the youth in exposing corruption. Yeah, like I said, they are very well equipped, right? We can use, they understand technology. Yes. We can use them actually to be ambassadors, and that is why we have the integrity clubs empowering the youth in schools and the universities. They can be our ambassadors on the ground, right? They can come up, for example, with leveraging technology, they can come up with hubs which can track public spending, right? And then they have the platform to be able to share and tell us this is what is happening. Yeah, youth, they can also through technology do gamifications. You know, like most of us and most Kenyans, I would say 80% people are always on their phones doing this, maybe TikTok. They are on TikTok.
Yes,
the whole
very
day.
vibrant one.
Very vibrant.
Yes.
They're on Instagram. Yeah. They are doing many other things on TikTok, so that why don't we enlist them? They have messages. Yeah, we have thematic messages we can give them. They can disseminate them through their platforms. That is their Instagram platforms or the TikTok platforms. So there's a lot they can do. And we've noticed that the youth, they are demanding for accountability and transparency, right? Yeah. So we cannot frustrate them by just leaving them out. We actually need the youth for this country to change.
Yes.
Yeah, for the narrative to change. Yeah.
If you're talking about involving the youth in these matters, maybe what would you say are the immediate signs of corruption that the youth should reject in their daily lives?
Well, there are many things that they need, and the most immediate that the youth need to reject in their daily life is obvious bribery. Yeah, bribery is rampant. Yeah. Even in their own setups, let me just give a practical example where they are, even in the universities, especially in the universities. We have youths bribing a lecturer for marks, isn't it? They don't go to class, and you want to bribe to get good marks, and you've not attended class. So I would say one of the things is to shun bribery. And bribery needs to be shunned in its entirety. We are relying on the youth to elect leaders of tomorrow. So we need to equip them and tell them to shun voter bribery when it comes to elections. Why? Because when you vote leaders who are not capable, they're the same leaders who lead you to a ditch tomorrow. And the little money that you've been given is just instant gratification. It is not long term. Yeah. And they need to know that integrity is not a burden. Yeah. Integrity is not a burden, but we need to look at the long term. That is the success of integrity. Yeah.
And also, it also means that there's a role that needs to be played in as far as changing mindsets of people in as far as corruption is concerned. Because, for instance, you look at corruption and there's this responsibility that is vested on government to fight corruption. Why is it not that, what is the responsibility of every citizen in as far as corruption, fighting corruption is concerned?
Honestly, every citizen in this country has a role to play. Government alone cannot fight corruption. And we cannot keep on pointing a finger on one person and the other four fingers are pointing on you. And it has to be a concerted effort. Just like they were saying, the CLIFS is a multi-agency, stakeholder, collectively, to fight corruption.
Mm-hmm.
So fighting corruption has to start from me and you, Mike. Yeah, it's a personal thing. And if we look at the government alone, the government is not in our houses. There's a lot happening in our houses, isn't it? Most of the corruption starts from the house. So the mindset that you're talking about, it is created and set from a small setup. A family unit is a small setup, isn't it? Many families then become a society, isn't it? We've seen situations whereby, and I like the youth, by the way, because they question. They even ask you, I'm a parent, I have youth, and I have youth asking you, why is this and this happening? Yeah, how do you expect us to be able to move to the next phase if people in the society who have been entrusted to look after house, they don't show a good example? We've seen in family setups where a father or a mother gets a job, changes jobs, and within a very short time, and you know the income in that family, the lifestyle changes drastically. You think these youth in the house do not see? They see. They might not question. And again, when they question, maybe you do not have an answer, or because you're a parent, there's that respect. So what am I saying? I'm saying, and I need to be forgiven for that, corruption also starts from our houses. Parenting is crucial. I remember days in the back where disciplining a child was not only a responsibility of the father and the mother.
Yes.
Disciplining a child, anyone else would discipline, even a neighbor, isn't it? Even by the roadside, if somebody saw you doing something which is not good, they would discipline you. But what has happened today? Career fathers and mothers, you've abdicated the work of disciplining either to the teachers. How many pupils do the teachers have? And some of us parents, maybe even when the teacher disciplines, you quickly run to school to say, oh, I don't want my child to be done A, B, C, D. So the fight against corruption, like I say, it's everybody to come on board and fight corruption all the way from our houses, then out to the society. Because these people that you're seeing outside there in the society that we are demonizing, they come from homes.
Yes.
So mine is, it's supposed to be a collective responsibility.
Yes, indeed. And given that the youth are the focus of this year's anti-corruption day activities, we've talked about their role, but then again, from your own perspective, how would you say, or what could you suggest as complementary interventions that could enhance the power of the youth, especially when it comes to influencing government policies in the fight against corruption?
Involve them. Let's have youth leaders, even in government. Yeah. Let's have youth in places that matter, policy making. And that is what they want. They just don't want to be told, do this, do that. They want to be part of the process. So we need to actually bring youth on board as part of the process. Policy making, then the fight against corruption, then it will be easy. When they're involved, they feel they're part and parcel of the process, isn't it? And even many times when you go to forums, and you find only adults just talking to the youth. You don't give them a chance to talk. There's a lot that they have to say. So we need to actually bring them on board and make them busy. And that's why I'm saying through our integrity club, establishing of integrity clubs, we want to have ambassadors on the ground. Because even we at EACC has a population of only barely 800 staff. We cannot go to each and every place. So we need other people to help us in the fight against corruption and inculcating ethics and integrity in the society.
Yes.
You
did talk about the role of every citizen, but also there's also the aspect of electing leaders of integrity. how does that impact the fight against corruption?
Like I mentioned, and I've mentioned bribery, may it be in a school setup or voter bribery. And one of the things that we sensitize youth about, definitely when you vote the wrong leaders who do not have integrity, what is the outcome? It's expected, isn't it? And you see, you'll find many people, because you've been given 200 shillings, you elect a leader, but how long does 200 shillings take you? You've gotten only 200 shillings and you've elected a leader for 5 years. Like we were having the discussion, if you divide that money, 5 years, how much is it? Does it help you? So, and not only youth, all of us as Kenyans, we have to make the right decisions. Not to elect a leader just because you like him or her, but because of the values that that leader upholds. And a person who can take the country to the next level.
You know, we talk about that, but there's also the aspect of political will in this fight. What do you do, how would you say, or what is the significance of having a decisive political will in the fight against corruption, and especially in Kenya? How can it be strengthened?
Political will, it's obvious. Also, without a political will, it's not possible to fight corruption. We've seen Singapore was able to be where it is today because of political will. It was nothing else. It was purely political will. So political will is crucial, and because if the leaders of the day do not see the need of preserving the resources of this country, then it will be a futile fight agenda. So I believe and I trust that we have the political will right now as EACC, and we need to do our job.
And also, this matters to do with public awareness and education. Would you say civic education would shift culture from tolerance of corruption to raising levels of accountability in this fight?
Yeah, definitely, Civic education would be by actually enlightening and empowering them to see what you're seeing, because they need to see what you're seeing. Though sometimes out there people have other major problems. And like you said, corruption looks like it's been normalized. And like I've said, everything starts from the home setup. Because those people out there are from a home, isn't it? So civic education for them to realize when you engage in them that if your money is eaten, it translates to a bad road, isn't it? If your money is embezzled somewhere, it translates to poor health, isn't it? It translates to what? Poor education. The other day, the Ministry of Education concertedly has been fighting to try and bring things to normal. Having ghost students in school, and there's capitation that the government is releasing to those schools. So the citizens need to know, even when you realize that is happening, you call out, isn't it? Even as a student. In a school setup, okay, for a student it will be very hard to know really the nominal role that the principal has, but other people need to call out. So if we are able to report these corrupt practices, then civic education, and we will empower them through civic education and tell them, report any corrupt practices. And EACC has very many mechanisms of reporting corruption. The witness is protected. You can make an anonymous call through our BKMS system. There is a toll-free number, 1551, that you can call to report corruption. Our EACC numbers, I don't have them offered, or even an email. And EACC is open for you to report corruption. You can walk in there and report corrupt practices. Yeah.
Okay. Now, we did talk about the Kenya Leadership Integrity Forum earlier on, but what would you say is their clarion call message as far as mobilizing the nation in the fight against corruption is concerned?
Yeah, Cliff, like I told you, it's a multi-agency, a stakeholder, bringing all stakeholders together and fighting corruption collectively. Their clarion call is pamoja tudumishe maadili. That's their clarion call. Yeah. We have to come together to inculcate integrity and ethics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Finally, there's this vision of tuangamize ufisadi, tuijenge Kenya. What would you say is the most important commitment that we can all make to achieve that vision?
EACC vision is values and integrity-driven society. Our vision is to have a society that has good morals, good values. So with that, we'll be able to angamiza ufisadi, tujenge Kenya. Yeah, if we cannot fight corruption, then we cannot jenga this country.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, and this is something that is ongoing in as far as fighting corruption is concerned. I want to give you 30 seconds to give your closing remarks.
My closing remarks is to say, in line with our vision as Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, our values and integrity-driven society, and I would like first to say this to the youth. We need the youth in the fight against corruption seriously as our ambassadors. And one thing they ought to know is that integrity is not a burden. It's something that will give you freedom in the end. So my part in short is, and what I would like also to tell Kenyans is to educate a child, you need a tribe, not one person. So we have to come together concertedly to bring everybody on board to fight the menace of corruption.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah.
Integrity is not a burden.
Yeah.
It will set you free.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Emily Moria, PhD, the Deputy Director, Education, Public Awareness, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, speaking to us about the International Anti-Corruption Day that is set to be celebrated on the 9th of December. And the theme is Uniting with Youth Against Corruption, Shaping Tomorrow's Integrity. That is where we cap this conversation. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Mike Migu. Up next is Vivian Ndegwa with Family Check. Stay with us.
Alisema hiyo nyungu ilala hapo siku 3.
Wewe ni ngapi umefanya na zimekuwa zikibackfire?
Tunakupenda lakini wewe tupendi.
Nenda kuitupa na huko.
Hapo ni kwenyu, unakaa smart.
Nakula nikijisikia.
Ukosho utakuwa poa hapa.
Auntie, nimeenda kuangalia patient fulani huko nikapatana na watoi wakikimbia wakisema ni Juliana.
Good morning, Mami. Mami ni nani? Get busy. Smile.
Hii bag ni ya nini? Pacha mate hii madaraka te lazima nikuwe nyumbani. Hii si madaraka, ni Jamhuri Day.
You want the intestine yoro?
Ni nani waita saji?
Unajua Kifaransa?
Najua kila kitu, hata akitaka kuongea mbolingo na chao.
Hii ni chakula ina gani? Hata mtu akinipata mtu ambaye anaisimika kama mimi, anakula chakula kwa juala. Watu ngesipekitada kama wewe wakulangi chakula ya mlango ya nyuma. Mimi nimekuja hapa kwa hoteli kula chakula. Uko na torashi? Angalia hizi ndevu zangu. Kila mtu akipata nywele nyeupe ni alikuwa maumau.
Ipo siku hata sisi yupo suwa sajaba is bad, very bad.
But what does it have to do with me?
Oh, la 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 la.
Street photographers. Nairobi's streets are alive, full of movement, color, and stories. Amid the chaos, a group of street photographers capture life, frame by frame, a click at a time. But behind every photo lies a story of hustle, of creativity, and survival. Street photography has become a full-time job for many young people in Nairobi. Today, we follow the stories behind the cameras, how they started, how they operate, and what keeps them going.
I'm a street photographer here in Nairobi CBD, and I can truly say that I'm a very proud female photographer up in Nairobi CBD, the best, the baddest, and for quality shoots, nitafute. Since 2023, I've been here. When I was studying, I was still coming to the Nairobi CBD for the street photography.
Every morning, long before the city reaches full speed, street photographers set up their spots, clean their lenses, and prepare for another day of capturing moments on Nairobi's busy streets.
I start my day first early in the morning, because I really need to prepare myself, make sure that my gadgets are all charged up, and by around 9:30 I'm here at the street. I do my things here, nafanya photography hapa na pale, and then ikifika around 5:30 I close my office, because this is my office.
For many of these photographers, some of whom are students, this is their main source of income for supporting families, paying their bills, and even paying school fees.
For sure, hiyo ndio inanipea kila kitu hapa kenye nataka saizi, ndio inaekelea everything, my dress code, my housing, everything, hiyo ndio inalipa. Photography has also paid for my school fees right now, and for sure photography is paying. This is my office.
Yani mimi vile niko student, at least ni an income, source of income. Nisitegemee mzazi sana, unaona.
Some of the photographers operate individually, but for some, teamwork is the secret to surviving the streets. They operate in groups, combining their skills and resources to keep the business moving.
As a team, tuna operate in terms of nikipata client mimi ndo nitaita client, yeye atapiga, akishapiga mimi ndo na edit picha ya client.
Teamwork ndio mzuri kwa kila kitu. For example, tuseme tuna wako wawili, unapata per day huwa tunatengeneza pesa mingi kushinda yule jamaa mwenye ana work individual.
Despite working in the same area, conflicts are rare. Each photographer sticks to their designated spot, a silent rule that keeps the peace on these busy streets.
We don't have conflicts na other photographers despite wako wengi, unaona, ni kila msee na place yake ya kupiga. Kama sisi ni place yetu kutoka hapo mpaka hapo, unaona, ni range msee ta connect, unaona.
While the streets give them daily income, many photographers expand their craft, offering studio portraits, events coverage, and corporate shoots to grow their businesses and reach new clients.
Tunachapa studio photography, street photography, family, couple, and type of photography tunachapa. At focus kwa street peke yake.
Mimi ni director, mimi direct shoots. Tukienda shoot huko nje na direct na napata pesa. So despite napiga photos huko, pia na direct nyimbo huko.
Traditionally, street photography has been dominated by men. But the women who step into this world are thriving, confident, skilled, and redefining what the industry looks like.
I can just say, saizi kwa street watu wamesha kubali pia what a man can do, a woman can do better. That's something that I do say. Kama mi saizi in the street, because I know I mostly interact with the male photographers. They truly are there for me, wanani support for security, anything I need. They make sure that I'm truly comfortable. So I can't really complain much about being in this field.
Despite the passion, life on the streets is tough. Between rising costs, unpredictable weather, slow business, and harassment from some clients, the photographers face numerous challenges.
Mostly challenges zenye kama photographers tunapitia ni customers, kupata customers. Juu utapata kwa street kuna mafotografa kama 10. Na huyo customer ametoka kutoka huko juu kupita huko chini, then unaona lazima umconvince ama tu bahati ya Mungu.
Challenges that I face is that people ignore you. You can ask them for a photo and they truly will ignore you and pass you without even saying or talking. Another thing is sometimes you find people who are really in bad mood, who can even like abuse you for no reason. And for me here, I'm just coming to look for like something to put on the table for myself.
Equipment ziko na challenge sana. For example, kununua kamera mzuri, lazima ukue na pesa.
Society uko nje bado wanachukulia photography ni kitu ya mchezo, unaona. Even though kuna watu wanapiga professional na inawalipa, but sasa sisi kama beginners ni ya kusustain, tunaona. Ndio tufike hizo level za professional yani.
Still, passion keeps them going. The love of capturing smiles, memories, and moments that will last forever as they urge anyone with passion in the field to join them.
Advice ni, if you want to be a photographer, just start now. Go to school if you have the ability to go to school or to gain some extra skills on photography. Another thing is, ukitaka kufanya photography, lazima ujitume. Skills unaipata ukifanya practice more and more and more and more.
From sunrise to sunset, these photographers turn Nairobi's busy streets into living studios. Their work may seem ordinary, but through their lenses, the everyday becomes extraordinary.
Thank you for staying with us. Good Morning Kenya gets to continue. My name is Vivian Degwa, and right now we get into our Family Check segment. And our topic of conversation today, as I had introduced earlier on, is on AI therapy. And we're asking, is AI therapy replacing traditional therapy? And this is coming, from the interactions we have on our day-to-day with each other, and I am sure you know of someone, or even yourself, who talks to AI, and they take AI as their therapist, and whatever they prompt it and the response they get, they take it as the gospel truth, or it kind of consoles them in one way or another whenever they're having anything they feel like they need to talk to someone about it. So it is our reality right now. It is the reality we're living in, and we're just trying to pose the question to you. Has it come to a point where it is now replacing me going to a therapist, sitting down with a therapist, speaking to them, and letting them also listen to me as they also talk to me back? Is it replacing that? And how will that be harmful, or will that be adding in, or adding more value to you who is seeking that therapy? That is the conversation we are having today. And I have with me the perfect person for this conversation, because this is your profession, Anto. You're a counseling psychologist and a mental health advocate. So Anthony Njenga is my guest. He's a counseling psychologist and a mental health advocate. Anto,
yes.
Are you being replaced by AI?
I would say not really. Yeah, because I believe for those who know and see the value of therapy, they will not allow AI or artificial intelligence or robots try to replace the in-person therapy or the traditional therapy. So according to me, there will not be any point that AI therapy would replace the traditional therapy, or the way that, someone will come or go to a therapist and talk to them and share what they are feeling, what they're experiencing, their issues, their problem. So AI therapy haiwezi replace unless kuna watu wengine wanatumia, na watu wanatumia AI therapy au ni watu wanajaribu kukua lazy kidogo kuenda kuface mtu juu. At the end of the day, AI or artificial intelligence haina empathy, haina human touch, haina ile contextual understanding of what you're coming to share, haina pia hiyo ati inaweza kurealize ama kuangalia your emotional cues, una feel hivi nini at that moment you need at that time. Ukilia haitajua. But when it comes to the human touch or the therapy, the in-person therapy, going to a therapist, I think that's the best way. So AI therapy, according to me, hakuna venye, hata sasa ukiangalia statistics, hakuna venye AI therapy itakaribia the traditional way of therapy.
Okay, maybe it has not yet gotten to a point where it has completely replaced it, but do you think we are getting there, especially with the younger generation, right? The younger millennials, the Gen Zs now, and the younger generation that is still growing? Because, I mean, when I talk to people around that age, most of them are telling me, I just use AI. I just talk to AI, it's cheaper. It's easily accessible. Before I start thinking, okay, where do I go get a therapist? What's your take on that?
When it comes to the cheaper part of it, it can be cheaper because all you need is your data bundle, the Wi-Fi, to take your whatever AI platform and just type and tell them whatever you're feeling and give you a response. It might be cheaper, it might be accessible to areas or to people who don't have access to mental health profession. But at the end of the day, you look at it and you see that it's not...
All right, they need to check your microphone, so we'll get back to that. But that is what we are talking about today. That is the conversation we are having. And you can feel free to also join in the conversation. Let us know your point of view when it comes to AI as one's therapist. And it keeps growing and it keeps evolving, The AI therapy keeps evolving. So most of us are used to the OpenAI. There's a new one that I would want to get Mike's Anto's, or I don't know why I keep calling you Mike today. I have unfinished business with a Mike somewhere.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, so I would want Anto to weigh in on that. So I'll bring it up when his mic is okay. But there's this new one. It's not yet in Africa. It's called Twy. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. It's a whole other different perspective where it's like now you're speaking to your loved ones who are no longer on earth. You know, if you have a parent who's passed on, it's like you can talk to them, but of course it's not them, it's AI, but you can prompt it and let it know how this loved one of yours used to behave, how they were. If you have a photo, you give it the photo, and it gives you a replica. It's like a clone of your loved one who's no longer on earth. So it's really evolving at a pace that is really fast, and it seems like its possibilities are endless. So Might, you know, with that one that I'm talking about, that's quite new. It's not yet in Africa, but it's gonna come. As long as it exists, it will get to us. What's your take on that? Like, it's a clone. If you have a late grandparent, if you have a late mother, sister, they give you a clone of them that you can be communicating with.
That's very wrong. Haifai kuwa hivyo. Kwani is it that we hate people so much that we have to go to robots? As much as technology, we are evolving, and as much as maybe people might feel like if I go talk to a therapist, maybe most of the time they feel like they will be judged. But one thing I need to affirm them is that unless you're dealing with a crook therapist who has not gone through training and licensing and practice, but normally in therapy, or in the professional therapy, the traditional therapy, we will not judge you. So if you say now that you're going to talk to a clone of somebody who may be a late somebody, and now you feel better when doing that, then honestly speaking, that's really wrong. Another thing with AI therapy, statistics are showing that whatever you feed AI with, it will give you the response you want to hear. So what are the odds that you are at a point where you have suicide ideation and you prompt it on something that you want to, and it gives you ways on how to actually do or attempt the suicide?
There was actually a case on the same.
You understand?
There was a mother who had sued I think ChatGPT for specifically that, because their son, who was actually younger than 18 years, died by suicide, and it was suicide that, you know, he was led through via asking, you know, online, so how do I go about this, how do I, until they...
Then how is that safe? Then how is AI therapy safe then? You see now, Vivian, let's tell people the reality. We need people. We need people. At the end of the day, we need people. As much as you have experienced a bad experience before, you need people to talk to. You don't necessarily have to walk into a therapist, really, if you really don't have the finances or you don't have the accessibility of a mental health professional. But you see, therapy is not only about going to a therapist. Therapy, you can feel better. There's something called catharsis, where when you speak, you feel better. You can get somebody you trust. It can be a friend. It could be one friend that you know that can really listen to you. Could be a family member. Could be someone, a stranger. It doesn't have to necessarily be... You know what we say, Vivian, And I think it's just an excuse to escape the reality. They are in denial of the reality. That, oh, therapy is expensive. But at the end of the day, you see, our mental health is as important as our physical health. Most people, a percentage of people will invest on their physical health to go and do full body checkup. Now, you have done your full body checkup, you're forgetting about your mental checkup. This is very important. If you mess with your mental health, nothing can ever be well with you. So people invest so much on their physical health. They will pay hundreds of thousands. They will pay insurance monthly, even though it's 500 shillings, hata kama ni 500. Watalipa to go and get now the physical health checkup. But now you see, when it comes to mental health, they are complaining, oh, therapy is expensive. Oh, I can't talk to a professional. Oh, according to my culture, we don't believe in counseling. Oh, that's just an excuse to escape the reality. Now, you see such kind of people, now, when they keep on talking about that, they find themselves now locking themselves up, the point of isolation. You see, AI therapy introduces something called isolation. And isolation is dangerous to your mental health. You see, the moment you are the kind of person, you're always in your house, in your bedroom, in your room, just texting AI therapy and saying, oh, I have an issue, help me solve this issue. And AI therapy brings you a solution. But at the end of the day, what you're forgetting is you need to really deal with the main root issue. You see, therapy is not only about giving solutions. We actually don't give solutions to therapy. as therapists, we don't give solutions to clients.
Yeah.
It is the clients to find the right solutions for themselves. For us, we guide them to the best solution. Now, for AI therapy, it will give you exactly the kind of solution you want. And maybe the kind of solution you want could not be the main issue that you're going through. Unaweza sema maybe you are, for example, you feel like you're emotional, you feel like you don't want to live anymore, and AI therapy tells you you have a condition that maybe you don't have, and could be you're just stressed about something. So you see now, with that, it brings a lot of confusion. You thinking that AI therapy has given you the right solution to help you with that particular issue, but at the end of the day, what it has done, it has brought you, it has made you to think that you are more sick, you are not okay mentally, and now you start thinking yourself of the same. But the reality is, we cannot get rid of traditional therapy, Vivian, whether we like it or not. And as I said, you don't necessarily have to go to a therapist to talk to them. Catharsis is the point where you speak and feel better. Get somebody you trust. Hawezi kosa mtu mmoja. Na kama hauna huyo mtu mmoja unaweza trust kumuongelesha, then your personality uko pabaya. You are at a very bad place if you don't have that one.
You need to at least have one person.
Exactly, just one.
I think you can even just go to church and speak to...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Therapy is not about ati unakaa na mtu peke yake ati, well, we advocate for good people going to therapy, but kama wezi afford, na kama hakuna access to mental health professionals in your area, then you can go somewhere, speak it out. Ongea ikutoke. That's a form of therapy. You have expressed it, that's catharsis, you feel better. But you saying that, oh, I will not go to a therapist, I will not pay a therapist my 3,000, my 2,000 for 1 hour. I will instead do AI therapy, buy 20 bob data bundle, niingia hapo kwa ChatGPT, mwambia I feel so and so, so and so has left me in the relationship, and ChatGPT anakuambia do this and that. And you feel that is the right kind of solution you need. No, you don't need solution from anyone or anything. You need to find your own solution in your own way, according to the help you need. But mtu akikupatia solution, then that person has not helped you, because somebody who gives you solution, Vivian, anakupatia solution from a point of what they think. But it is you to actually find the right solution for yourself. Because in therapy, we ask you, ukiniambia your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your wife is beating you, I will ask you, what do you think is the right thing to do? Then according to you, you're going to make a good... Ukiniambia maybe una feel kutoka, I will prompt you on the consequences. But mtu akikwambia, umemwambia unachapwa, na wewe umpe answer, toka, ama wewe mchape pia, ama wewe mdunge muue. Has that person given you a solution? They have not told you about the consequences. They have not told you about the disadvantages of it. They have not told you about the advantages of it. So I don't see how AI therapy will also have empathy. Hakuna empathy kwa AI. You don't need somebody to sympathize with you and tell you, oh, pole. No. You don't need somebody to tell you sorry. You need someone to help you be able to see that issue as an issue and help you deal with that issue from that point. Sio mtu akwambia, oh yeah, sasa utadu, hapana. You need someone to tell you, at least tell somebody, maybe let me tell people, kama una feel wewe ni mtu mwenye watu kuja kukuambia issue zao, be the kind of person, if you don't have something to say, just tell them that I can imagine how you're feeling is really heavy. Kama huna kitu kabisa ya kusema, just tell them it will be well. It will be well with you. And also, don't really focus on the solutions you're given by people. I'll repeat this, Vivian. Watu wanatakanga tu advice na short advices. But you see, in therapy, we treat issues as a symptom. Because behind every symptom, there's an underlying cause. You know that, Vivian? Kama uko na homa na uende kwa daktari umwambie uko na homa, hiyo homa atakuuliza maswali, na kama ni test atafanya ndio ajue why. Inaweza kuwa hiyo homa inakuja juu ya kitu fulani. So in therapy, we don't treat the symptom as it comes. Yes, you can address the symptom, but we want to really deal with the underlying cause. The underlying cause is the root cause of what has caused you to experience what you experience at the moment. But AI therapy itafanya hivyo kweli?
Can we also look at it as simply, you know, a way of expanding mental health support?
AI therapy?
Can we look at it that way?
You see, when you say that, Vivian, I'm looking at it in this way. Now, if AI therapy, you can tell it what you want to tell it, and it can prompt you or give you something or a result of what you have told it, then how is it expanding mental health? I think the only way it is expanding mental health is maybe there are people or places where there are no mental health professionals, and people who feel like they really don't have that accessibility of something, or you need a coping tool at that moment, and maybe una feel ni usiku, it's 12 in the AM, and you're stressed about something, and you can't call your therapist at 12 a.m. or you can't call people at 12 a.m.
Yeah.
So you need something to tell you or keep you moving. At that point, well, but don't really move with only that. Kama ni 12 a.m. umeshikika na unafeel niko na stress, I need someone to talk to, na hauna huyo mtu kabisa wa kuongelesha. Kama ni coping mechanism unataka at that point, well, it is understandable, but hiyo coping tool unataka at that moment isikuwe ndio the only coping tool ume focus nayo, because when you move with that coping mechanism, you have not dealt with the cause, the main underlying reason or the main underlying root cause of that particular issue.
Yeah. Don't you also think it's time maybe for therapists and psychologists like yourself to now work in collaboration?
With AI?
With AI. Because it's already here. I mean, Anto, let's look at it this way. People are using it already. So don't you think it's time now to just work together in one or the other to make it better? You know, maybe for you as a therapist, you work around having your services in a way whereby it's AI, yes, but I'm seeking Anto's services. But it's through AI, but it's you.
Or like, for example, niseme Anton is AI, so response itakuwa inakupatia ni response yenye mimi naweza pata. Well, it can really work to that extent. Inaweza to that extent, because now we are embracing the technology in the digital era. It's here now. In that essence, it can work, but I think I will not advocate for it, because you see, also as I said, Vivian, hiyo ina increase level ya isolation. So kama therapist Anto, therapist Vivian, therapist so and so, anaweza kuwa kila mtu akona AI tool yake yenye inapatia response to clients according to how they feel at that moment, then it means now we are going to a different kind of society where people will only be seeking help at their home, at the comfort of their home. They will not need to engage with people. So it is bringing a point of isolation to themselves. That bit of loneliness. Hakuna hiyo networking, ile socializing. And you know, the social perspective of a human being is very important. Leave alone the psychological, leave alone the emotional. Social is also part of mental health. For you to be mentally okay, you need the social aspect. See, unajua sasa AI ina bring, Vivian mesema, point of loneliness, isolation. Kama Anthony anaweza kuwa na AI tool yake, si sasa nina book 2 session through the AI, kama ni kulipa nalipa AI, ama kama ni whichever way nafanya na AI, na ananipatia response. So kama nilikuwa niende 1 hour kwa session physically, so AI inaweza fanya kama 10 minutes. But at the end of the day, you see that is bringing an essence of italeta personality issues. So mtu akikaa kwa nyumba sana inakuanga dangerous, because if human beings are not meant to be peke yake at that whichever point. Unafaa kuenda nje, uone watu, uende uone mtu, uongee na yeye. So kama nikusema ni AI ita improve, inamaanisha pia madaktari itabidi wamefanya hivyo, Vivian. Sasa unapata kama KNH, Chiromo. Ukitaka services zao unaingia tu kwa AI wanakupea solutions. Itawaka kweli? Haitawaka. Itakuwa challenging.
Someone was arguing that it is helping in reducing stigma on matters of mental health, because now it's private, but I'll put private in quotes because you're giving info to someone you don't even know, so we are not sure about your data protection and all of that. But yeah, someone was arguing matters stigma, that it is helping or assisting in one way or another when it comes to fighting stigma.
Well, I don't think so. Because you see, if you're a person who is moved by stigma, then it means you have irrational thoughts. Then it means it's more of an issue. It's already an issue. Kama ni mtu ana move life yake na stigma, inamaanisha haja accept the reality of what is happening to them, right? Stigma comes from a point of people bashing down on what you're feeling. Kama ni uko na depression, unaogopa kuambia therapist, ama familia yako, ama kama uko na schizophrenia, whichever mental illness, ama uko na stress mbaya, unaogopa. But now you see, hiyo inamaanisha basi you have not come into terms and accepting the reality of what you're going through at the moment. Stigma is there. Stigma is there. But at the end of the day, it's not about what people say about about how you are. It's about your internal. It's not about what people. It's you, the inside. If you are contented on the inside and you accept and you have understood that this is what I am undergoing and this is my challenge, then with the stigma issue it becomes nothing. Sasa unaenda una seek help. Kama ni stigma, uko in denial bado, haujakubali situation.
Yeah. I was also, you know, this is a conversation that we were having with people. That's why, you know, we decided to have it as a topic. So there was also the thing of, you know, now with AI, yes, you prompt it, you let it know how you're feeling, it soothes you and all of that. But then if you really, truly need treatment, you know, because probably you're suffering from depression and you really need treatment. How will it come through, you know, in terms of if there's medication you need? Will it be able to diagnose?
Most of the time it gives actually the medications. Kama sahi kuna mtu anaweza kuwa na feel like on depression. And you see, the thing with, let me just say this, Vivian, you cannot say you're depressed. You have to be medically assessed to be depressed. You cannot say you are anxious.
You need to be diagnosed.
You need to be diagnosed. Hauwezi conclude. Ni kama venye watu usema social media, huyu ni narcissist. Narcissistic is a personality disorder. You can't call someone a narcissist.
It needs to be...
It needs to be diagnosed. They need to go through the process.
We love that word.
No. Hiyo ni mbaya sasa. People go out there calling, ula ni narcissist.
Yeah, he's a narcissist.
You see, with mental health, let me just say this, for people to understand. With mental health or with psychology, for anything to actually be called a particular illness, there is something called DSM-5, Diagnostic Statistic Manual 5, that has to, there is a procedure. So hawezi sema mtu ako controlling na ako manipulative and ako physically abusive, and now you conclude and say that that person is a narcissist. There are procedures that and steps that follow for you to actually conclude and say that this is a narcissist. And you can't do it by yourself. Somebody who does not have an understanding of DSM-5, unless kama ni mtu anajua DSM-5 na ni clinical officer, therapist, psychologist, anaweza, but unajidiagnose mwenyewe, una point fingers and say ule ni narcissist, ule So for you to actually be depressed, for you to actually say you're depressed, you have to be diagnosed. So hata ukienda sahi kwa ChatGPT, you say I feel like I am overwhelmed, I feel like I don't feel like I want to live in this world, then ChatGPT kwambie ama whichever AI tool ikwambie, hey, this is what you're going through, and ikupe treatment, there is medication, there is therapy, definitely wanakuambianga. But then ChatGPT kuambia psychotherapy. They give you as an option. So mbona basi tuna advocate. So ikikupatia psychotherapy, kwambia medication, inakwambia so and so medication, so and so medication. So most people now go and get it over the counter. But most of these mental illness medications hazikuangi au peangwe kama hauna stamp. But kuna hizi commons za kutuliza the whatever at that moment you're feeling. But sasa ukikuwa mtu mwenye unachukua over the counter, it means now you will develop a drug dependency, like medication dependency. Na mtu mwenye anakuwa addicted to medication over the counter ama dawa yoyote, see, that's addiction. So now you develop now a more complex issue than the one that was there.
What would you say is aiding to the rise of AI therapy and AI therapists? Is it out of need? Is it out of convenience? Is it just that there's a cultural shift now when it comes to how we look at mental wellness? What do you feel is really aiding that?
I think it's from a point of culture also, cultural influence, a point of need. Maybe, for example, as I say, there are areas or there are places that people don't have access to mental health professionals. And also from a point of need in terms of the cost, because therapy is not cheap, but there are places that give pro bono services for therapy. There are so many places in Patianga, even in Kenya, as we speak, there are places you can go to and can offer pro bono services. So it comes from a point of cultural influence, from a point of need, and from a point of ignorance. I would say that. If you advocate for AI, it means then you are in ignorance of what you're currently going through. And if you're in ignorance, you have ignorance, it means you are in denial, you're still in denial, you have not accepted yet what you're actually going through. And you cannot get help if it does not come from a point of acceptance. You have to accept for you to actually get the services and for you to actually go to therapy. So you can't say ati sasa mimi nita advocate for AI therapy and I'll be okay with AI therapy. It means then there's a lot to do with you. There's a lot of personality issues that you have. There's a lot of unfinished business, unresolved issues. So if there is that, then the only way you need to get help is through therapy, the traditional. Through the traditional therapy. Yes.
Sorry about that. So there's something you have really, kept mentioning over and over, that human touch, that physical human touch.
Yes.
You know, to what extent does therapy require that? That you making it that to you believe AI falls short on that, and that kind of disqualifies its therapy. It being, you know, the way to go.
Vivian, AI is artificial intelligence, huh?
Yeah.
And what is AI? That's a robot, right? That's a machine. Right now, if you take metal, for example, and you give metal, you put metal hands, legs, head, ears, and mouth. Will that metal turn into human at any point? Whether you pull his eye, can it be human?
It cannot.
Exactly. So there is that. Ni kama hii kikombe. There are people actually who idol some stuff. So tuseme kama hii kikombe ni AI. Hakuna venye hii kikombe itajua venye na feel at whichever moment. So it can never be human. So there's a very big difference between robot and human.
So what you're saying, it can never understand the depth of human emotion.
It can never understand. Hata we prompt aje, at the end of the day that is not human. So haina hiyo haitaweza kukuwa na hiyo contextual understanding, haitakuwa na hiyo level ya empathy, haitaweza ku understand your emotional cues, what you're going through at whichever moment. Una express what emotions, and you express in these emotions, what can I do to help you at this moment. AI haiwezi jua hiyo. Hiyo itajua kenye unaiambia.
Yeah.
And now you see, now this is to the students. And this is to particularly Gen Z students when you want to join campus.
Yeah.
Kama you're a student right now and you are a person who does your assignments online, yote ni AI. Basi wewe. Unajua kuna watu hawafanyi hata research. The people don't do research.
It's open. It's an open secret. It's not a secret anymore.
Mbona basi kama huwezi squeeze hata email. You can't even write a mere email, hata letter. Una have to kwenda AI. Write me a letter. Write me a motivation or whatever.
Yeah.
But why? Why don't we go back to the good days?
Hata captions za Instagram.
Mbona sasa unaangalia AI kuangalia captions?
Niandike nini nataka kuandika kuhusu.
Then that means now you're being fake. You have to be with the real you. So ukienda AI useme, write me a letter to Vivian. Help me write a love letter to Vivian. AI itakupatia the sweet things, but some of the things maybe happen you don't mean. So if you're a person who uses AI even to do your assignments, to write letters, to even seek for jobs, kuandika cover letter, motivational letter, whichever way, then you lack the human touch. You need to do it yourself so that it can have that realness. Yes?
All right. Okay, interesting conversation right now. I'm being told Ben Chumba is on standby for the last mile connectivity. He is in Busia, where we have the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation on matters, doing matters to do with power inclusion. So if we can head direct to Busia, Chumba.
Vivian, we're still coming live from Teso South constituency, actually in a village called Amongura village. This is where the government, through the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation, is going to commission 2 community electrical projects here, just to ensure that the community here is connected to the national grid. Just to bring you the live pictures from here at St. Alexander Amongura Primary and Junior Secondary School. As you can see, preparations are in top gear ahead of the commissioning. The Cabinet Secretary for Energy and Petroleum, that is Honorable Opio Ondai, will be here to preside over the ceremony. We can also see that security has been beefed up in this area just to ensure that everything is ready for the official commissioning of the project. Remember, these are live pictures from St. Alexander Amongura Primary and Junior Secondary School, where the commissioning of commissioning of the electrification, community electrification project is going to happen, where a total of 72 households here are going to benefit or are going to be connected to power. We've been able to speak to various residents here in the morning just to hear what they look forward to or anticipate. And for sure, I can confirm that residents here are very happy. In fact, some of them are flocking in here slowly by slowly just to witness the commissioning of the project. Remember that they say this is going to be a milestone because it is going to completely transform their lives. It is going to empower small businesses. It is going to improve education in this region. Definitely, this is a story that we are still following. It. Remember, the Energy and Petroleum Cabinet Secretary, Opiyo Ondai, will be here. We will be talking to him, and we also will be talking to REREC officials just to hear details about this project. And then later on, another project will be launched in Siaya, in the neighboring county of Siaya, to be specific in Game constituency, where about 210 households are also going to be connected to the national grid. So that is what we have as at the moment. But as soon as the Cabinet Secretary arrives here, definitely we will be live to update our viewers. But for now, we're live from Teso South constituency. Back to you, Vivian, in studio.
Okay, thank you so much, Chumba, for that update, and we'll definitely be keeping you updated on the same. As he's mentioned, the CS is expected to be there within no time, so we'll get back to that the moment he gets there. Now, right now, we need to wind up on our conversation on AI as your therapist, and I would love to get the final remarks of Anthony Njenga. Your final remarks, specifically as you also just talk to the younger people who now have embraced this AI as their therapists.
One thing I'll say is you need to talk to someone. If you feel like it is very expensive for you to afford a therapy session, then you can get someone you trust. Could be one friend, talk to them, share whatever you're feeling at that moment. If they can't help you, whatever consoling message they give you at that time, take it at the moment, then work on now improving your mental health, because your mental health is your wealth. If you don't take care of your mental health, then no one else will take care of it for you. So also invest on your mental health. The same way you invest on your physical health, also invest on your mental health, because your mental health is everything. I'm a therapist myself. You can talk to me. Can I share my number?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, if you need therapy sessions, my number is 0725-029398. 0725-029398 on social media, TikTok, Anthony G. Njenga, Instagram, Anthony G. Njenga, Facebook, Anthony Gaidon Njenga. So talk to me, because I think you need help. Don't just go to the AI therapy. You can console me, and I'm very, very, very much affordable. Usiogope kuniconsole. Tunaweza ongea. Usiogope. Sawa. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Anthony, for joining us and for, giving us your input on this topic. Yes. As we finalize, I would love to involve my colleagues on the same just a bit as we say goodbye to you. Mike, when you talk about AI therapists, is this something that you're familiar with? When I take your phone right now,
yes,
will I find someone that you talk to?
No.
AI, that you just let them know everything that is going on in your life, prompting them on what maybe you should do about this or that situation?
Yes, it's not something that I've tried, but yes, AI has come and is here with us, but from my own point of view, it has come to augment whatever is happening, not to replace. So when it comes to therapy, the kind of a person who I would prefer human touch to it. Human touch, a person you can talk to directly about this and that, person who understands. But even when it comes to AI therapy, I think it's a tool maybe that could be incorporated in that field.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's something that is meant to replace the human touch, the human aspect part of it. I don't know, Victor, how you view it.
The world is moving so fast. Yesterday I did the search.
Yeah.
It's called Chat GTP.
GPT.
Yes. I did a search for myself yesterday, and my info is out there. Who gave them?
Your info is already there.
But little is known. That's, again, I have a feeling that the world is moving to a point where technology is going to be used in so many areas. But let's not forget about the traditional way of doing things.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
The AI is here, but then again, there is that aspect of having that physical connection. You can imagine, I don't know, the people who are going to suffer here most are ladies. Okay?
What do you mean?
I have a feeling that the people who are going to suffer, if there's AI therapy, ladies love physical connection with the girls. They love venting. They love to cry. They love to have, it's called lunch date
You're
with
really
my
speaking
friends.
for us.
You know? That's something is going to miss.
But
So
Victor,
yes.
don't you think, you know, now that you're talking about, you know, ladies and how we love that, you know, physical touch and our emotions are usually, you know, take center stage in everything that we do. But there's also the conversation on men do not speak up. So do you feel like AI is coming to assist you as
let me
men
ask you,
when it comes to that?
If Mike cannot talk to me directly, here, do you think Mike can talk to some anonymous face somewhere telling me his problems?
Something that is
I think that's easier.
You think it's easier?
Yeah.
No, I think there's something up for debate.
No?
It's really, really, I don't think, if Mike cannot tell me, Victor, listen, this is it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you're going there to explode or to expose, you know, all your secrets to an anonymous face giving you ideas. It's debatable. It's debatable.
It's debatable, given that you have to prompt it, you have to give it instructions on what you want it to answer. So in a way, it's like it's telling you somehow what you want to hear.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit.
What you want to hear. But you see, the hardest truth is, when you want to heal, you have to be told the bitter truth, things that you don't want to hear.
But there's a way you can set your AI tool, the one that you're using, to be that to you. Like, si ati na kubembeleza all through. You can let it be as brutal. We've tried that.
Exactly.
You just tell it, be as brutal as you can be.
Usinibembeleze. Okay. We need to try that, Mike.
It's crazy.
Mike, you need to get provoked and then try that. Okay.
But I mean, at the end of the day, that physical touch is really important. And as you know, our counseling psychologist here today mentioned.
Vivian, you agree with me that ladies love physical touch when it comes to therapy? A rub on the shoulder.
It's a human being thing.
You need a hug. You need somebody to wipe your tears. Vivian nyamaza tu, relax, this and that. Wachana your story, by the way. Wewe skiza, ebu kula. Ebu malize your food.
He was not even your type.
You get what I'm saying? So how are you going to get that with AI? Okay. Sorry for another day. All right.
But I mean, at the end of the day, what the conclusion we are coming to is, you know, just following the profession's point of view. As Anthony mentioned, I mean, that physical touch is important. And the more we lean to AI as our therapist, the more we also encourage isolation. And if you have an issue, a mental issue that needs to be addressed, and you isolate yourself, then we know what the consequences may be. So make a point of just speaking to someone. I mean, we're human beings. That is how we are created. We need that connection with each other, be it a male or a female. We need that connection. So let's remain in touch. Let's remain in touch.
Yep, of course.
Yeah, how about we say goodbye right now?
Absolutely. All right. Let me start by saying asante sana for being a part of the show. We started this early, exactly at 6:30. I need to say thank you to my guests who are on here on the show, Dr. Peter Mbai, asante sana for coming to the show. Oscar Mondi, who is a political and governance expert, like University Don, asante sana for coming. Honorable Peter Rero, that is MP Kibra constituency. And finally, Michael Moya, political analyst. We'll be doing this again tomorrow on People and Politics. That is exactly 6:30. So join us then. I'm Victor Lo. Good morning.
Indeed, indeed. And also, thank you for tuning in. Today we are talking about matters anti-corruption, and I was having that conversation with the Dr. Emily Moria from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, because tomorrow, which is the 9th of December, is a commemoration of the World Anti-Corruption Day, and the focus in the is on the youth and the role they will be playing in as far as the fight against corruption is concerned. But remember, the fight against corruption starts with you. My name is Mike Migui. Thank you for tuning in to Good Morning Kenya. We do this again tomorrow morning.
Yes, and it's a wrap, as we've heard from my colleagues. Until tomorrow morning, God willing. My name is Vivian Dagwa. Do enjoy the rest of your
Vivian, you see, behind us, happy holidays.
Happy
the mood is
holidays.
there. The mood is there. Yes, Mike and I. See you tomorrow.
Happy holidays. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing.
See you tomorrow.
Six-year-old Daniel Safari, who must have been so full of life, oblivious of the danger that was lurking within his environs. It happened in a flash as he was bitten by the venomous puff adder that left him in a coma for 8 months. Luckily, he survived to tell the tale, but had to start a new life without his lower limb, which was amputated because of the snake mite gangrene.
When I was 6 years, that is in Mwingi, Kitui County, Mwingi Central. I happened to be bitten by snake, Pafada, and I stayed in a hospital like 8 months in coma. Then from there, that's how the life started. People do not used to like people with disability.
It was not easy, but he eventually pulled it off. He found his way into the sports scene to turn himself into an all-rounder.
My first game was high jump, and I never get the chance to go to play to have a Kenyan, my flag in Kenya, but I'm very good at it, 1.65. So that's why I happened to shift to God shift me to Winter Games, and I'm very happy about it. So high jump is my first game that I played. I also played a beauty football professionally in Turkey. That is 2014, 2016.
And when an opportunity presented itself, he didn't hesitate to plunge himself into the unknown.
I started skiing. We had a program that came in Kenya through Kenya Paralympics. Then South Korea, they were introducing winter games to the countries where they don't have snow. Then I happened to get a chance. Then I went to South Korea, whereby I went to learn the game that I did not know. And from there, that is 2011. From 2011 up to 2016.
Daniel Safari thus ventured into a sport no athlete living with a disability had ever attempted in Kenya to make a name for himself.
We had so many guys in Kenya and also in Africa, Rwanda, Uganda, South Africa. But it depends I just wanted to do something different. And many guys that went to try the game did not happen to understand the game more like professional. Ski is one of the game difficult. You can die, but it's very hard. Living in the cold season like -20. My country is like plus 20, 25, 30. So going there to have a different climate, different weather, you'll come find that it's a challenge. But since it's something that I want to do it, I want to achieve, so that I can be voice to the people, other people with disability. So I have to do it because it's my passion and I like it.
It's paid dividends to medal in many championships and earn scholarships.
I won 3 gold medals in South Korea when I was doing mini competition in South Korea. Then in 2017, I happened to play as a professional in South Korea, also in United States, 2017. Then I also went back this year in the United States, whereby I was being classified and given the title to play internationally by APC. Yeah, and now I'm I'm training for 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing. It's a lot, Sometimes when you want to go to competitions, you are not able to gain some funds to go to that will keep you to the professional level. Like, these winter games in Africa, in Kenya, not many guys know about it. So when you go to the institution, so it's very hard to understand what about this Winter Games all about. You'll find that different other people without disability, it is very easy for them to get funds more than a person with a disability. So it happened that my life that I'm living and the life Sabrina is living, so it's such kind of the difference, Yeah, right now I should be having gone to many countries like Swiss, Austria, like Netherlands, to train so many games. But I'm just in the ground training some fitness. But they are doing in winter. They are all the time in the winter games. But I happen to get some few funds. I just go like 3 to 2 months to train. They are getting more training more than I.
Daniel Safari may have lost his limb through a snake bite, but that has not stopped him from pursuing his dreams of becoming the best that he can be in the sport of skiing. And never will a day go by without him putting more effort in his training. He is a true inspiration.
Other guys with a disability, we have so many things that we can do. If you show people, if you show the public that you have disability and you are not showing your ability, actually they won't give you that support. Like the way I grew up with the challenges, but I did not get to show people that I cannot do this. I have to show people what I can do, so that they can appreciate what I do. It's not about begging. It's not about seeing the people and the sympathy. It's about speaking to one another. It's about showing what you can do. And what you can do, 100%, people will be able to support you.
Bagi ni ya nini? Pacho mate madaraka te lazima nikuwe nyumbani. Hii si madaraka, ni Jamhuri Day.
You want the intestine oro?
Ni nani waita saji?
Unajua Kifaransa?
Najua kila kitu, hata akitaka kuongea mbolingo na chao.
Ini chakula ina gani? Hata mtu akinipata mtu ambaye anayesemeka kama mimi, anakula chakula kwa juala.
Watu ungespected kama wewe wakulangi chakula ya mlango ya nyuma.
Mimi nimekuja hapa kwa hoteli kula chakula.
Uko na toraji.
Angalia hizi ndevu zangu, kila mtu akipata nywele nyeupe ni alikuwa maumau.
Ipo siku hata sisi yupo suwa sajabe is bad, very bad.